Apparently we are live. I don't know why we're doing this. Hello, welcome to the bonus roll. As you can see, I am in the middle of setting up an overlay because I did not get it set up during the week, and because we're experiencing a wide range of technical difficulties that are most easily described as hellacious. There may be some interruptions on the stream. But hey, we're here, and they can see literally me and Zizva and no one else. I'm not even 100% sure that we are audibly being heard.
Uh-huh.
I can try to confirm.
We're probably being heard.
Yeah, I'm trying to confirm too, but like,
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. If this doesn't work, I'm going back to bed. I'm tired and emotionally tired and physically tired, and think of some
Everybody's messed up.
version of tired that is just persistent, and that is where we are. It's the new
you
way
do
of
a
the
lot
world.
of work for us, and we would not blame you for wanting to take a rest. It's been a rough time for everyone all around.
Yup.
Alright, so fair
I
warning,
think-
like, the whole overlay is going to just be a picture of my Discord for a second. I can't do anything about that because, yeah.
I think that's okay.
As much as anything is okay with this.
Have to refresh.
And that really needs to stop happening. That has to stop happening very soon.
Oh.
Okay. Done.
Yay!
Okay.
Okay. Filters. Welcome to the bonus roll special episode 37, where you watch GM Gearno's Crop and Pad Discord streams. Okay, left is slightly less than 1,006. We'll set to 300. That's fairly close.
Do you want to do the recap, Rail or Meryl? Or do you want me to? I feel
Okay.
like it should be one of us this time.
56.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable. How about we kind of double team it? So last time, and I can't see if I'm looking in the camera or not, but last time we got engaged, sort of.
It was suggested that you two get engaged.
Yes. Shoot.
By all of our parents. Kind of.
Yeah. So
At
The-
least
the-
3/4.
the dinner party happened.
3/5.
And a dynastic marriage was proposed between Ingrid and Rael. And neither Ingrid nor Rael are on board with this. But neither one entirely sees a way out of it yet. I'm in favor of changing our names and moving to a different plane entirely.
I mean, I'm already practically engaged.
I hear Toro is doing
Someone.
pretty good.
So, I
these
mean, he doesn't know that, but, I mean, Ingrid's already practically engaged. She can't get married to someone else.
Yeah, I will be right back. I have a tea issue.
days. Yeah, I hear Toro is doing good these days.
So, we went,
Ebron is a good stop itself.
and got some formal wear. Rail spent more than he thought committing to buying a necklace. Oh, Tux. Tux.
Tux
So,
lighted us
Rail
with
got a
beam.
new magic item. Ingrid got a swimsuit. We bought a map for undersea waterways because of the vision with Corral and the streams coming together. And to help us try to track her down, we went and bought a map. And that was from the Faithful Rendition. We found out that the nearest library was the Suit Feather Archive, but also that that Nora's Ashen Branch wasn't there because he's away on duty and couldn't go research for us, but he'll be back in 10 days. found out that Devotion gave Opal a coin. I mean, it turned out Tux and Griggum already knew that she had the magic curse coin. And, just didn't tell us that Opal had the magic curse coin.
We did, just now.
Yes, just now. Instead of 6 months ago.
I mean, it was pretty obvious. It's like...
It was obvious to the people who actually saw the coin.
Exactly. It's like...
Not the people who didn't see the coin.
It's not exactly like we were the highest, perception.
I mean, fair dear?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how high your perception is if you're not there when it's taken out.
Yeah. So Rail identified a bit on the coin and found out that it can prevent disease.
Yes.
Or the attuned is immune to disease.
All right. We do not know much else about it, but we gotta speak with Devotion about why exactly.
We do? No? Yes? I don't think so. No.
I think this
I
is
think
one we just play along.
So we had a couple days downtime.
Okay, Meryl, Rael, let's be honest. Do you think that there's going to be an explanation that would be satisfactory? Like, if you asked him and he answered honestly, it would probably just be a shrug of the shoulders, I was bored.
Well, the question then is, how the hell did he get it?
I think.
Well, he's
that
not
Rail
going to
wants
answer
go
that.
back so he can flip
point.
Well,
the
yeah.
again.
Oh.
So we had some downtime. Rail helped Ingrid by doing all the work on decrypting some of Cathal's book that we're secretly decrypting. And Ingrid did some gem cutting. And what did y'all do on downtime? Oh no, I forgot. Okay, everyone, say what your downtime was.
My downtime was decrypting the book.
Oh, Opal translated with Fair Deer.
Oh, yeah.
I entirely forgot what my downtime
Oh,
was.
you did gossip. You did business gossip, and found out that L'Oreal and Timmel have been leaving shift early together.
Yeah.
Well, leaving the shift
We-
early.
Well,
Sorry
yeah.
to interrupt. Meryl, I need you to start counting from 1, and I will tell you when to stop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Am I good?
Keep going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F.
Just screwing with
1,
the
0, 1,
I
1,
mean, that's the
1,
real
2,
question.
1, 3, 1, 4,
Okay, you can stop.
1,
Thank
5. Okay.
Get to the center of a
We
Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop.
have to fix your camera at some point so that your landscape again.
I can change that. Why?
Look at the overlay.
Yeah, you're showing
the
up that
overlay?
way on Discord too with the smaller frame.
Yeah. Okay, I did that on purpose. I can change that setting right now. Give me a second.
It's entirely up to you. I thought there was a problem.
No. That's
it's
just
an
how I have
aesthetic-
my webcam set.
If it's an aesthetic choice, then that's fine.
So at the dinner, it was set up with Rail's parents, his brother, his sister's significant other, who is the proprietor of the Curious Cat
Kind cat.
Kind Cat Magic Shop, Adriana, and then Ingrid's aunt, Ingrid's father and Ingrid's 2 younger sisters were there, which was a bit of a surprise since, you know, it's been 3 years and a different precinct. And Mavana was not at the table, so she didn't get to hear all this fun stuff. But,
Right.
I mean, I kind of find
but
it
the
odd. that
aunt
body
had the
doesn't yet.
tomb of the family and brought it back to Rail's mom, right?
Yes, the
Yup.
family history, the family archive.
And then it turns out that the grand plan is to reunite the families by marrying some among the third cousins. Potentially, Rail and Ingrid would be her first choice due to timing.
Yeah. Which I have an alternative to suggest in character once we start playing.
Also, we found out that Grigum is invested in green slime wine down in Roma. And we invited Choso via Rail doing sending to go meet us in Roma and be moral support. And a night on the town. At once. Because that's how we do it here. That's my summary, anyway.
I love that we have 7 people watching me just futz with overlays right now. Hello, people. Welcome to the bonus roll. I can't think of any way to delay this longer.
Alright.
Okay, impromptu
So
episode.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I was about to say impromptu episode of Chat and Chill until I get this finished.
Okay.
Yeah. I've noticed like a lot of things are down. eBay, Reddit, everything else.
Yeah, it's almost as if
So, like-
everyone's
No wonder our view count is so high right now.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, I mean, we're competing with, like,
Yeah.
Sly Flourish and shit like that. I'm surprised anyone's in here ever.
I have no idea what that is.
Seriously, you don't... I have
Sly-
been touting Sly Flourish's, like, methodology for almost a year and
Let's
a half.
not make the viewers go to a different string.
We're going to do that no matter what, and we both know that.
I'm just gonna say
Intentionally.
Sly Flourish sounds like a My Little Pony character.
All your viewers will just catch him later on YouTube. Just stay. Stay and chat and chill with us.
I like that our viewer count dropped by 1.
Aw. I would like to say, I don't know if any of our watchers are interested in it, but today is the final event of Marbula 1 for this year,
Ooh.
which I've been catching up on, and I would just like to say, go Rangers!
Yeah.
Is this marble racing?
Because-
Catch
They
up after this string.
It is
Yes.
marble racing.
It is
Okay.
marble racing.
It was the Marble Olympics, and now it's Marbula 1.
Yeah, you cannot use any variation of that word
Well, I mean,
legally.
between the Olympics and Jill's marble races, one of them
Between
doesn't
certain
cheat.
sporting consortiums
Yeah, well,
who
I-
shall
I'm-
remain nameless,
personally, I'm
Because
going to
they
watch
really
the one
do.
that isn't rigged.
You'll have
they
to
really are pretty Sue happy.
especially now that they're
Yeah.
not making money.
Yeah, I'm just going to say the
It
Olympics are
never
fake.
made money.
Olympics are fake. Marble racing is real.
Stop saying the O word.
It's been pushed
Yeah.
back to next year, you know.
Yeah.
But the final race of Marbula 1 2020 is in 5 hours and 11 minutes. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to watch it after this. I'll try to catch it live and cheer for my team.
Maybe you can. Maybe we can rebroadcast on this channel and possibly get more views.
Yeah, possibly. I don't actually know if they're on Twitch. I usually watch on YouTube. But that would be cool.
I guess we could get started by going to one of the taverns and having our chats there.
Yes.
Nah, Gyarnos is too busy.
Have
still.
have your DM do 4 things at once.
Yeah, no. That's not a good idea at all.
I
No,
mean-
it's okay. This could just take over as assistant DM.
So here's
Yeah,
like,
because I totally know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, guys.
Halo, can I have you count to 10 for me, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You can stop. Thank you.
8, 9.
I do know one thing. I
Huh.
do know, like, I asked which bars are between the Sweet Street station
Huh.
and our office, because I figure we've walked to the rail a lot before to get on the subtram.
How do I fix this?
So, so the one between our office and Sweet Street, where we'd be heading home, is the open chapter. It's an Azorius bar.
Look at the overlay.
So the two like tavern / bars that we passed on our way would be the Ignorant Wolf and the open chapter.
Maybe. Okay. Transform, edit, transform. With.
Well, I'm a giant.
Because your thing is physically
I'm not sure if
larger than
anyone
all
wants
the
to drink in
others.
an Azorius bar or not. That's up to y'all too.
At this point, I think the important thing is drinking. Drinking.
Yeah.
And
Man,
worrying about who's going to be the first person to tell Mavana.
Wow.
Beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer.
Oh, guys, my research is going really slow. What I really, really need
Long time ago.
is some sort of caster from the Izzet to really bring my research along.
You know, we do
But
have
those
Huh.
types of people don't just like fall out of the sky.
Yeah, I
I
wonder
just
where I
don't
could get
know
one of
what I'm
those.
I mean, it's the Izzet. They probably do fall out of the sky.
I mean, we
but
actually
probably
really
not
do
grease.
need an Izzet because we need explosives, and I don't know where to get them. And I really don't want to tell Cathal we need a lot of explosives because she's been I don't know.
Intense?
I mean, she'd probably be able to get them for us.
Cathal's been a little intense lately.
Our naked rituals.
She was wearing a shawl, not that I was there.
Hey, shells are comfy,
I'm
I'm
not going
told.
to comment on what people do in their own rooms, even if they don't lock the door.
Those doors lock
Yeah.
automatically behind you.
So it was a case of the
It
door
was-
not being shut.
Hi.
We're not sure.
I don't know.
Or like that was not Cathal.
I mean, it was in her study using her magic.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
but the door was not properly locked.
I think we need to establish security questions or code words or something.
Is
I
the
mean-
To
security
verify
question?
we are who we are.
Is the security
But
question?
we
Are
already
you
have a
Om?
shapeshifter.
I mean, you even have alter self, fair dear.
Yes.
Fairdear has alter self. Rail definitely doesn't have disguise self. Absolutely not.
Ingrid's not answering this question.
and yet, it's like it is Griggum who has gone out the most, impersonating something else.
Well, he's the one
Have
that
you-
got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Impersonate somebody we're
Has he
doing.
gotten in trouble for it yet?
No, he hasn't gotten in trouble for being a tax collector. He got in
For
trouble for
that one, yeah.
performing
Oh, wait,
alongside. Yeah.
he got in trouble with the Orzhov. So can
No,
we
no. He got in-
retcon it
No,
and
like,
say that's
He got
why?
in trouble with Arachdos.
Yeah.
Does still have that outstanding debt from his carousing to deal with at some point.
No, it's paid off.
Oh, you did the 50 gold?
Yeah. It's like,
No, you did the 13 to Opal.
yeah, it should be.
Yeah, he covered it. I believe.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that was never subtracted from your share, the 50.
That's in the vault. It's like,
Yeah, because we didn't know you had it. Oh, I
subtract
was
it anyway.
saying you might still have debt collectors coming by.
Well, just subtract it anyway because there's been a lot going on, enough downtime going on that it would have been reasonable to have that happen.
Yeah, that'd be great. The Knights of Obligation, like, tap him on the shoulder
I
during
don't know
the
who
dinner.
you
Oh,
are.
by the way,
Clear that with Gearnos if we are going to subtract it.
What am I clearing?
That I paid off my drinking tab.
I thought so.
Yeah, there we go.
I didn't hear you. Are you
That's
muted,
good.
Jonas?
I don't know. Am I? My
Oh,
thing's lighting up.
Well, I'm hearing him.
I hear you.
I am, for a change.
Because
it's
we're
very
talking about gold
difficult.
coins.
I'm gonna reload.
Very difficult when you can't hear your DM.
And damn it. Okay.
Hopefully, I wasn't talking over him this whole time or something.
No, I've just been quietly
No.
increasing numeral values.
Oh, chat, how are you guys doing today?
Who did Brigham borrow money from?
Y'all don't know.
He probably doesn't either.
I mean, he has an address.
He also has, like, stocks in a wine company.
Yeah.
Not like... In, like...
Do you have an
What?
address for the loan money?
And why am I not showing up?
Well, apparently I paid it off, so I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
I love that no one questions most of this stuff.
I don't remember. Did you say he paid it off? Because I don't remember. I wasn't hearing you.
Yeah, he said that it was paid off.
I believe so.
We just
Yeah,
haven't
money.
gotten the math straightened out yet, so let's just...
Okay, because no one told me to subtract 50 from holding his money. I don't really feel comfortable holding Grigham's money, by the way.
Why? I'm an upstanding goblin. Is it because I'm a goblin? I believe it's because I'm a goblin.
Okay, so instead
think
of
it's because of the
307, you
fact
have
that-
257.
I think it's the fact that she's your tax accountant, and then you're coming back like, I have a bar tab of like 50, 100, something like that. I don't know. I was pretty pissed.
I mean that I had a couple of beers, not that I was angry.
That's a lot for a goblin.
It's a fair
Small
amount.
stature.
But you're not talking to the average goblin here.
No, we're talking
No,
to an
you'd be
alcoholic
dead
goblin.
from alcohol poisoning if it was the average goblin.
I don't know. You haven't seen some goblin drinks.
I like the
There's a
image
lot
of
of
him
poison
being
going
like, I only had a few beers, smash cut to him having a keg. A few.
And followed by a couple wine bottles.
Why is this getting us more viewers?
Who knows?
This is our Fever Haze recap episode.
The polls and the views, the dank memes.
So yeah. So Grigham, champion of the immunity to alcohol poisoning right now.
I know. Y'all can design what you want to put in your garden while we're waiting. For the monk garden.
Exactly. Brilliant.
Or-
Because
I'm thinking,
I've already been helping on the lab, so I'm helping with the lab. So you and
yeah,
Opal can
like,
talk about your
I'm-
garden.
I'm
It
thinking,
needs coral.
I definitely think that there needs to be like a variety of bonsai trees first and foremost. Not only bonsai trees though. It's like maybe 5 that are different species, that kind of thing.
I mean, they turn down mushrooms, that's just insane.
Well, I mean,
Haven't gotten
the
back
thing
to
is
me
that
on the
mushrooms
coral.
is not a rooftop garden thing. Like that seems more like a
Yeah.
underground garden thing.
They
Like maybe you
just
can
need
get,
shade.
I mean, maybe you can get some mood lighting in our tram station. Who knows? But,
Only thing about mushroom trees would be it would be really bad during springtime when they're giving off, pollinating. That could be bad.
Mushrooms don't pollinate.
they do not pollinate.
They spore.
Yeah.
Well,
Have you-
man.
Do you not keep up with Warhammer?
Oh,
They're not orcs.
But orcs are mushrooms.
Orcs are mushrooms, but mushrooms are not orcs.
It's
So
that would
the
make it
squ-
really easier to
so-
have minions. Just grab
so
10 orcs out
is
of the
it like a
storehouse.
square rectangle thing?
Yes.
Exactly.
Depending
Okay.
on your sci-fi, yeah.
Side note, I found out recently there is a term for all rectangles that are not squares.
Oh.
They are called oblongs.
Like the
Oh.
cartoon show?
Weird circle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Isn't that
I
basically?
mean, technically, yeah, it could be a weird circle if you kept on spreading out the circle enough that the
I mean, you're
angle of
thinking
curvature
oval.
becomes 90 degrees.
Not entirely.
Like you're,
That's not a circle anymore.
yeah,
Wait.
you're thinking ovals, but nonetheless. Anyway,
There's a bunch of
yeah.
dancing
No, oval,
cupcakes
sorry.
in our chat.
Oh. So there are. So, here's something that I love. I have had to set up the cameras so many different times for so many different numbers of people that I have switched to Borg designations for them. Like, for example,
709.
yeah, 7 of
At some
7.
point, I think Ziz, Meryl, and I need to write you a Python script to do all this for you.
And Python,
No,
I do
I
not
am
know.
traumatized by Python. Don't say that.
Hey, I got an idea of
Honestly,
a script
Python's
y'all can
pretty
write for
easy
me.
for simple stuff.
No,
I'm
wait.
not the
No, wait.
best.
It's
Hold on.
what I'm
Shh,
traumatized by. I blocked
Jonas
the
is
whole
trying to
game
say
of it.
something.
I have something you can write for me. I came up with this idea a long time ago for a app. All it does is you log in and you watch commercials on it, and it gives you like a penny for every commercial that you watch.
Yeah, you don't want to get in that business. There's some very shady people in that business.
I'm a shady person who
like,
wants to be in this business.
No,
That
I
is
mean
an app
shady people with contacts.
that sounds like an app that could work. It also is ripe for mismanagement. Like, you could do some really creepy stuff with data gathering from that kind of thing.
Thank you.
They do. It exists.
It's not
It's
not
like
a good thing.
It's like the most
I guess if
Shadowrun
we
thing I
can't
can
do
think
Python,
of.
if we can't do Python, maybe JavaScript.
I was about to
I don't
say,
know
do
what your
any of y'all
preferred
know
language is,
Unity?
Meryl. Sorry.
Do any of y'all know Unity? I feel like
I
I'm
am
making a Rick and
very
Morty
slowly
reference.
starting to
I've
learn.
played around with it.
Which flavor? The C# version or the what was the other one?
I'm agnostic.
I think most of them are C# now.
So I don't know. I haven't used C# in a good few years. I am very slowly starting to play around with it again.
Okay, Cookie, I need you to start counting, and I will tell you when to stop.
Oh boy. 1, 2, 69, 420. I'm kidding.
This is what we get when we have young people to this chat.
Hey, I'm the youngest, to be fair.
That's true. I'm old.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Alright,
Off my lawn!
now for the ordering. I said the ordering, right?
Okay, I'll have a number 9 large.
Number 9 with extra dip.
Okay.
Come on, young people, you don't know what that's from.
I know where it's from.
Okay, thank you. Good. Men,
Number 9 with
men
extra
and women
dip.
of taste in this chat.
Young people, he says.
How
Just
many
how old are
pixels
you?
across are these?
Oh, I am
Just
18,
turned
by the way.
33 yesterday.
Oh shit, I am younger than you.
Yeah, welcome to my hell. I'm almost 40. Deal with it. Because I'm
Thank
not.
you.
Ooh.
And the best part is
Thank
people
you.
keep on thinking I'm in my 20s.
I actually thought I was 34 for a little bit on my birthday. Then I did the math. I'm literally getting so old, I have to do the math to remember how old I am. This is frightening.
Just take the age you were yesterday and add 1.
Yeah, but we're programmers, we're always off by 1.
Yeah, the real question is, do indexes start at 1 or 0?
do if the language actually is worth using.
Yeah, well, hey, I had to use MATLAB.
I'm sorry.
All arrays in MATLAB start at
Oh
1.
God,
I
Matt.
hated MATLAB.
Remember when you use parentheses? You have to use brackets for some reason.
Yeah.
Why? I
Oh,
guess it's
dear.
based on Objective-C or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
You're
It's based on
Objective-C.
garbage.
Yeah.
MATLAB is an interesting program that lets you do some really cool things.
It's
But it's
useful. I just
garbage.
wish they had a equivalent of like Swift for it that uses like proper C-based syntax that
Would
almost
be nice.
all languages do.
It would be very nice. But unfortunately, we don't have it.
Yeah.
Alas.
I love that our viewer count keeps like peaking and then just dropping.
They're like, who are these people? What is all this
Honestly-
computer science range?
Honestly, Twitch is probably...
Having issue. I am
Not doing
amazed
so
that
well
we're
we
either.
actually
find
going
out we're on
out.
the front page.
Like, I don't know why it just kept on. It kept starting the broadcast without me telling it to start the broadcast earlier.
I think that's a known bug with a stream elements. I recall that being a thing.
I'm not using Stream Elements yet. It won't import the overlay.
Streamlabs.
Well,
You're using Streamlabs, right?
yeah. Well, this is an ugly
Yeah.
ass overlay. Woo!
It'll do.
That's what she said. Wait,
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear
we
you.
can hear you.
I can hear you.
who? I can't hear it. Did someone say something?
Oh. Yeah, she won't.
Okay, I didn't hear it, so I'm going to reload now. Ha ha! Okay. Can everyone hear me?
I gave him a gold coin.
Just give Watcher all
Yeah.
promotions.
I knew what he wanted.
Okay, what happened now? Watcher wanted a gold coin again?
No, I was asking if we all got potions from that, including Ferald.
What?
Bits?
Huh? Hold on. I've been in the middle of... okay. Yeah, everyone gets a, potion of... greater potion of healing. That leads me to...
Including me?
Yes, everyone. Okay. So, hey, if you want to support the stream, now that I am done setting that up with this ugly-ass janky overlay that I'm probably going to be tinkering with for the next 4 months, if you want to support our stream, we have a Discord. It is up and running to the point that you can subscribe to it. It is not up and running to the point that you can access the things like the videos and stuff yet.
Are
Discord
they
or
using
Patreon?
our Discord?
Or Patreons.
I think it may have been
Okay,
Patreon.
I was about to say that could raise some problems.
Yes, Patreon.
I have
Okay.
posted in the Twitch chat our current potion count.
Okay.
No such thing as too many potions.
I mean, especially with the potential slaughter games coming up that we've been hearing rumors about.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
That took a lot out of me. I don't know why that took so much out of me. Alright, so let's take a 15-minute break and we'll come back for the second half of this.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I
Okay.
know it hasn't even been a full hour.
If you need a break, just let us know.
I need
Yeah.
bourbon.
I wish I had some bourbon.
I wish I could drink bourbon.
I wish
Man, it's after this whole quarantine thing is over. I want to make some bourbon ice cream.
please deliver.
Thank you, Halo Cat, for taking the high road.
You're welcome.
Okay, so as soon as we get out of the dinner party, Ingrid's getting that armor back on.
She needs
Not-
comfort right now.
Not a bad idea. I mean, honestly, it's rarely a bad idea.
Dear, help me get my armor on.
Yeah.
I feel like I need armor
Okay.
after that.
Rail, that's cool with you, right? Like,
Hey.
I don't want to.
Dear.
We have
Fair,
exactly
dear.
enough people without their camera running. If someone mutes themselves or unmutes themselves, I have to stop what I'm doing and fix the cameras.
Should I turn my camera back on then?
No, I don't know. I don't have a solution. Wait, hold on. I have a solution.
And only on your headset and not on Discord?
Oh,
Just bring your mic volume down
I have fixed it.
on your computer.
Yay!
Now nobody can see. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I mean, just go to a blank screen if you're going to do that. There we go.
I
Okay,
did
now
go
it's
to a blank screen.
I saw the 5 pattern. Okay, so
This is not chat and chill.
no, it's not.
I am
Go
not
back to
dealing
our
with
new
this
overlay
well.
you just finished.
I am not dealing with things well right now.
Back to our overlay. Come on.
I am not dealing with things at all right now. This is D&D. All right, someone roll me a D20.
Just gonna roll all my dice.
13!
We just won the D&Ds.
woo!
Hooray!
All right, guys. Thanks for letting me play. See you next week.
I want to go outside so bad right now.
Alright.
I know, we're all feeling goofed up. Come on.
Join us next week when we play Shadowrun. GM's like, roll a d6.
And
You win!
No, you only win if you get a 5 or a 6. Otherwise, you have lost Shadowrun.
Number bang.
aw.
Wait, who gets that reference? I know 3 of us get
Number
Yo,
Wang.
number
number
wang.
one.
That's number Wang.
Oh,
Dude, I should have said that when Meryl was counting. So many missed opportunities.
Where's my picture of a chicken?
Yeah, like over 100 mixed up. Over 60 for sure.
Alright.
oh.
Okay,
I kind of
so-
wish we could
Does
just go do the Mitchell and Webb series on Chat and Chill, but that would be highly illegal.
Okay, give me a minute to get this stuff done. Alright, so, hey, this beautiful background music that you've heard on every game is literally just a remix of Sirenscape's Waterdeep thing that they released like a year ago, and that they agreed to let me use as our background sound as long as I say that it's provided by Sirenscape. So the background music is provided by Sirenscape.
Roll20's not launching it.
I may
I'm
have
hearing it.
to
I
reload.
can hear it.
I mean,
Yes.
like, launch game. Is it okay? It's working now. I couldn't get the other launch game button to work. I had to go like through selecting the game and then launching.
Okay.
Use
All fixed. All fixed. All good. Yeah.
We have a Patreon. It's like, hold on, let me look at the Patreon so I don't tell people the wrong Patreon for our Patreon. Alright.
yes, pay us money and we might start acting professional.
No, we won't. Don't lie to people, that's my job.
They come here because we aren't professionals.
Exactly.
Professional.
I
professional.
really hope that is why they come here.
Professionally.
Kind of sad, actually.
Okay, yeah, it's patreon.com/thebonusroll with a capital V. I don't know if that matters. But yeah,
I don't think it does, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I don't know any less.
I am literally the only person
Yeah.
on screen with, like, take a look at the overlay right now.
Broke.
Yeah, I can't fix this.
Just go.
Overlay broke.
I am not a programmer. I'm
Just
barely
share
an
it.
English
Just
major.
pop out the webcams. Pop out the Discord cameras and just go full screen and put you on there.
Watch what happens when I do this. beautiful.
I meant like instead of roll 20 at all.
In addition
Okay.
to our Patreon, if any of you know how to stream, if you could email us at thebonusroll@gmail.com,
That's
we may
actually
give you a mention at the credits.
the wonderful thing is that is actually our hold on. The wonderful thing is that is actually our Gmail account. Tux just unknowingly gave out the Gmail account for this stream.
Why do
Assuming
you
that's
confirm
public.
it then?
Because I am having
Tired.
issues. We're not sponsored by D&D Beyond or Critical Role. I don't think they even know we exist. I've tweeted
Let's get started,
D&D.
guys.
But they will.
I mean, this is getting us viewers. We're up to 9 viewers.
I want to get started. I want gaming.
Okay, well, fine. Patreon.com/thebonusroll. If you sign up at the $5 tier, which is our lowest tier, you get access to all of our back episodes of Chat and Chill, which is the show on Fridays where we literally just do what we're doing right now.
But more so.
You also get access to our pregame streams for 4 of our 6 players, as well as the mid-game stream, I guess would be the term of it, for one of our players, and the eventual mid-game stream for one of the other players when I get around to it.
Thing is with Chat and Chill, you don't have me slamming the desk and saying, "Come on, guys, I want gaming." It's just all of us chatting.
Yeah. So, anyway, D&D Beyond, great tool set. Not paying us. I may get in trouble for using their name. Critical Role doesn't know we exist. I'm kind of happy
You
about
do.
that.
Hi.
But you have gotten a response to one of your tweets from
I've
when I
gotten
started
a-
watching the show.
I've gotten a response to wait, what, who, what?
You were like, "My wife started watching your show," and you were like,
Oh God, you scared me for a second. I thought you were
No,
talking
not
about
one of our
the
show tweets. No,
I thought you were
not.
talking about like the, hey, we're going live at X. And
No.
I was like,
No.
wait, what?
Yeah,
Why?
Special,
No one's
special guest,
Matter of
Matt
time.
Mercer.
No one connected with Critical Role in any way should be watching this show. We want Critical Role to remain good.
Yeah.
They probably have more
Ish.
important things to do, like counting their money.
I don't
or
know.
something.
Let's not
Give us
make
enough
assumptions
time, we
about
might-
actors.
Yeah.
We might
let's
get
see.
Matt Mercer guest starring.
I can imagine this scenario. It involves me hiding under a desk and Cookie just like long form screaming in excitement.
Yeah,
And drooling.
I'll have to do a
For
lot.
4 hours.
It's like, breathe in,
Sorry, Cookie.
pull back.
I don't know. I think it would go well. Mostly.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Doom Knight wants to know how much he would have to bribe you to give a common magic item.
And with that, let's see here. We have a Twitter account at Bonus Roll. Follow and like. Wait, you can't like on. Wait, you can like. Follow and like our comments on Twitter. Follow and like our comments on Twitter for updates and just to make us generally happy. If you're watching this on YouTube later, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend. Oh, if you're watching this on Twitch Live, I'm sorry, why? Please subscribe and say something in chat and follow if you can. I think I have delayed this as much as I can. So,
Really, you have.
I think this literally could just be wrapped up as an episode of Chat and Chill at this point.
okay. So, when we last left off, Rail's mom decided that he should hook up with Ingrid. Ingrid's father seemed strangely okay with that. Ingrid got to see her little sisters again for the first.
Strangely. Oop, sorry. Shouldn't interrupt.
Ingrid got to see her little sisters again for the first time in 3 years.
3.5 now.
Yeah, 3.5. Ingrid is having an emotional issue. And y'all are leaving the Corvino Chantry.
Faradir's hopefully helping me with my armor, but acting really weird about it.
Like,
Sure.
I can see this as he's trying to help, but he's also trying not to look directly at you. Equilibrium, we appreciate you too.
A for EQ.
I know it was mentioned in passing, but I am working on something where our favorite moderator will be joining us on an episode of Chat and Chill.
Very cool.
Okay, so we're trying to get to the tram station. I think we've been to one of the bars around here. Is the Ignorant Wolf still open, Gregum?
Oh,
I do believe so.
There's one way to
we're
know.
getting transportation as a means to an end of getting blind drunk.
Well, not blind drunk. Is it?
There's a good-
Speak for yourself.
There's a good chance y'all can stay with Valora. I've got to go talk to her tonight anyway. That's why I've got to go down to Roma. Aside from, I need to see Choso. Y'all could probably stay there. We'll send Watcher to make sure it's okay.
I think Watcher's gonna get drunk too.
Watcher can't.
That would be animal. That'd be
Watcher can't get drunk.
Like, should not or physically cannot?
Does not have a biology.
What? That just means we're not using strong enough alcohol.
He may
So you
not
wanna
have
lead
a
the way,
digestive
Gregum?
system. To be fair, I could investigate that. Let's find out if Watcher has a digestive system.
Okay.
Watcher?
That could be my
Just-
research.
Just stay under the cloak for now. That's okay. That's enough help with the armor, Faradir. I got the rest.
I like to think that this is happening in literal the middle of a church, while like 6 people around y'all are going through.
No, we
grief
went
counseling.
outside.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we
Okay.
left. We left
So
the church
outside of
long
a
ago
church.
last session. Yeah.
It's outside of the
Yeah.
church.
Yeah, outside of
Yeah,
church
we've
with.
left. We've left the Orzhov district at this
You
point,
have?
if I
Yeah.
recall.
If
Yes.
you left the Orzhov district, you're nowhere near the Ignorant Wolf.
We were heading back and we were going to bar hop along the way and then we called it.
Okay, so just to confirm, y'all are heading towards the Ignorant Wolf.
I guess so.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was the closest one.
Yeah, if y'all are in the Orzhov district, the closest bars are the Ignorant Wolf, which is an Orzhov gambling bar, and the Open Chapter, a Azorius kinda cop bar.
I thought you said that was between Sweet Street and our home.
It's still relatively close to the closest.
We could just walk home and not take the tram at all, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about a cop bar.
Well, it's an Azorius arrestor bar.
Guess we're heading to the Ignorant Wolf to start our drinking?
Okay, so
Sure.
the Ignorant Wolf is much as it looked like beforehand, before the incursion. Very basic structure. The sign out front has apparently had to be replaced, and then was almost immediately defaced. That someone has drawn rather large eyes on the wolf, as well as on the moon that the wolf is howling at. I keep on seeing the mage's little screen thing light up like he's saying something, and I'm not hearing anything from the mage. Can you just say something for me real quick, please?
Hi.
Okay, just checking. Paranoia.
Yeah, no, it's probably picking up tiny things.
I'm paranoid now because, like, we've had so many technical issues. Anyway,
We have.
someone drew googly eyes on the wolf on the sign. Inside, it's relatively raucous as is the nature of this workers' bar. There is, as usual, a game of darts going on in the corner. If y'all do not remember this bar too terribly, Rail literally was drinking out of an alms box here.
Now we're here in formal party wear.
I don't remember that,
At a
so it must have been a
workers'
good night.
Yeah, now we're at this workers' bar in all our formal party wear.
And people look at you. Fortunately, it's not too far of a trip from the Basilica to here, so you haven't had any random Orzhov people coming up and offering their services as protection.
Good. And Mavana's back with us now, right?
Mavana is with you. She is trailing like a few feet behind Rail, in full
Mavana.
night of obligation loadout.
We're going to have to talk about something fairly serious, but not until I've got at least 3 drinks in me.
Okay.
Ingrid steps between the rest of the party and the wall, and casts a little spell, and looks like she's wearing her adventurer's clothes. Yep, not sticking out at all.
Ooh, that's a neat trick. That's a very neat trick. You're going to have to tell me how you do that one.
I mean, I think it's just like what you do.
The cloak?
No? Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of like the cloak, and then what you do, like when you pretended to be stabbed and you were someone else.
He
It's
wasn't
like that,
pretending.
but I just didn't pretend to be someone else.
He wasn't pretending to be stabbed. He was pretending to be someone else.
I
Yeah,
tap Gregum on the shoulder.
I don't
Is
think
that
there was
what
any magic
flirting
involved
is?
in that one. I think that was just good old disguise.
Okay.
I tap Gregum on the shoulder and point to them. Is that what flirting's like?
Not if I know.
Yeah, goblin flirting involves fire.
Remember, like, the last person I, had feelings for turned out to be a spy.
what?
So, what do I know?
I
You
am going
worse.
to cast... you know what? Can I use Sleight of Hand to cast Mage Hand without being noticed?
I'm going to say yes. Because
Also,
you're an arcane trickster and your mage hand is
your mage
invisible.
hand is invisible.
Right, rolling Sleight of
That's-
Hand. A lot.
Okay.
22.
I gotta love that level 9, because we're level 9 now, proficiency boost.
A tip of the hat and a
22.
wag of the cane, and you have a mage hand floating around.
Yeah. I'm going to use it to just kind of tug on Faradir's ear. Like, like the angry grandma hold? It's like, it's one crack too many.
Grigum, add 2 more potions of greater healing to your inventory, please.
Greater? I thought we were doing regular with that.
Oh, right.
Are we
I
doing
didn't-
greater?
Yeah.
Shoot, I didn't
I
add to my
said greater
inventory.
on the
How many
last
do we
one.
have?
You
Alright.
didn't tell me greater on the last one as far as I know. So you want me to change that?
The one that happened like
I
15
heard
minutes
greater.
ago, I said greater.
Okay, then I will change that.
So, that should be, what, 3 greater healing?
times
Or
3,
Yeah.
4, regular times back to 3.
and done.
They're back to 3, and then 1. Already had 1 greater, so we just make that times 2. Times 1 for real.
Alright,
And
hang on.
times 3 for Grigum.
Sorry, how many should I have?
I just finished editing it, so let me post in Twitch chat so our viewers can see too that it's edited. That's our new potion list. I converted the regular back to a greater. And
Okay.
Griggum has a lot of potions, plus his flask that can be used once per day.
Thank you very much, Ingrid.
Wine bottle, but yes.
Getting to
Good
that
night.
greater healing potion is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Hey, Watcher's just holding regular, so if y'all get first aid from Watcher, it's just going to be regular.
I'm going to have to throw y'all into some pretty intense combat.
I mean, the
Oh,
thing is
dear.
that I've been able to weather a lot of combat pretty well, and then everyone else is quick on the magical heal, so it's like we haven't.
And to be fair, we've gone down pretty severely.
Yeah, just don't
Yeah.
throw us against any dragons yet, please.
Y'all are literally going out to the Red Wastes to negotiate with one in like 4
Oh,
days.
damn it. Oh, right.
Okay,
yeah,
It's
that.
like,
so,
did you forget?
so ignorant wolf.
Darts and drinking and arm wrestling, and it's a workers' bar. I don't know, like,
Oh, good.
Is the small ogre there again?
yeah, the very short half ogre is guarding the door. He kind of like at you as you come in. He gives the people who are dressed fancy a quizzical look. I interrupted Rail as he was about to molest Fairdeer's ear with an invisible mage hand.
Let's not say the M word given recent events.
Oh. No, again, it's... Rail just got... Faraday is touching a little too close to sensitive...
It's just
sensitive
one
right
of those
now.
like granny ear pulls.
Yeah, it's like, again, if you've ever seen where just kind of somebody's grandma or mom just kind of grabs them by the ear and yanks a little bit, just that, just invisible.
What's a grandma?
Exactly. But yeah, so before we go in, Rail is going to change his outfit up into something more appropriate for the environment. Because, you know, it doesn't do to stick out too much.
Are you gonna go actually change?
No, he has the magic cloak.
Okay, yeah.
He's
So
just gonna-
so you're changing too.
Yeah,
okay.
he's changing his coat to look somewhat
little more
less
workmanlike.
ostentatious.
Yeah.
Ostentatious.
Alright, and
I'm not drunk, you're drunk.
and the only alcohol I have in my house is a bottle of wine that I'm saving for either cooking or Passover.
I swear, if this lasts long enough for you to need that for Passover, I'm going to be really pissed.
Passover is next week.
I know.
But yeah.
Anyway,
We're actually planning to do a. Sorry, Passover is this week. Passover is this week. It starts Wednesday.
oh God, you're right. It does, doesn't it? Because we're in April now.
We're almost at Passover.
We already
So,
have
yeah.
food in our stomachs from the dinner. I guess we don't need to order anything to help with the drinks.
Y'all take a seat at a relatively open table. There's like one guy that's kind of slumped against it off in the side of it, like asleep. Because I assume y'all aren't just going to stand in the doorway next to the half orc that's watching you.
No, we're gonna wave and sit down.
There's a guy at the end of the table. He's passed out drunk. He's like,
I look over at him and say to the bartender, "I'll have what he had."
all of it?
One glass first. And so,
Okay. And it's like after about maybe 5 minutes, she's not exceptionally overdressed. Like, she's not like, you're at a Rakdos club, like, look at this dancer who's serving drinks kind of dress. But she's dressed fairly nicely. Barmaid comes by, drops off a full bottle of this, like physically hot. Like, someone put it next to a heat source for a long period of time. Bottle of this reddish, clear alcohol.
can I take a second look at the guy passed out? Like, is he human? What are we looking
Oh,
at?
yeah, human. He has short cropped blonde hair. You don't know what color his eyes are because he's asleep. He is just laying like half of the head half down on the table, snoring.
Gotcha. It's like, well, if there's a glass for me to drink out of, sure. Let's pop this thing open and give it a try.
Yeah, there's like a stack of glasses on the table. You pour it
What
in.
drinks do you like? Oh, go ahead with that. I was just going to
please,
ask her.
I know what
when
I'm going to
you're done.
say.
I'm going to ask her, so what drinks do you like?
Mavana?
Oh, the lady who dropped off the bottle.
Oh, the bartender. Okay, because you said she, and there's like 8 she's currently in the. Anyway, the barmaid stops and is like, I like the kind of hoppy ones. Then she wanders off because she isn't being paid to talk to people. The alcohol you pour out, it's steaming hot. For one, it looks like a very weak Kool-Aid kind of color. Like you ever add half of a Kool-Aid packet to a bottle?
Yeah.
It looks like that. It has this very strong scent of like mold, like someone added spices and fruit to it.
Sounds good.
I'm going to pour, like, eyeball what probably would be the equivalent of a shot into the glass, and then just be like, to give it a taste test first. And it's like,
All right, one, it's piping hot.
right.
So taking a shot, you kind of burn your tongue a little on it. It has this very strong spiced taste to it. Not like heat spice, but just like a very rich herbal, spicy flavor to it.
Right.
Think gin, but served hot with a splash of like just generic fruit flavor.
Right.
Sounds kind of like an Ingrid drink, actually.
Would you like some?
Sure.
I mean, sounds like a plan to me.
Ingrid, make a constitution check for me, please. Oh, saving throw.
Not having a whole bottle amount, but okay, I will. Let's see. 3. An 8.
8. You kind of burn your tongue a little on it. Your tongue starts to feel numb after that, so it's okay.
So, do we want to still be able to like really walk around to the next one? Or like, how much are we drinking here?
Greg,
We're
I'm
not
already
drinking
taking
a
second
lot, right?
shot.
I don't know about you.
This
At
is
this point,
Look,
Faraday
Ingrid,
has
if you want to be
wandered
our
off
designated, guide, please do so.
Faraday
Sure.
has wandered off and he's playing darts.
are you like you're challenging a person, or you just found an empty dartboard and you're throwing stuff at?
Ooh,
I
let's
see
do that.
dartboard at this point.
Okay. Make a just make a dexterity check and add your proficiency. I think you're proficient in darts.
Ingrid's gonna go up to
Uh,
cash out some of her lifestyle bonus
Okay.
at the bar.
So you basically go up and it's like, "Hi, I have this really high lifestyle."
No, like, here's a gold coin from my per diem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could bring us 9 silver worth of just whatever favorite drinks you like, and then hand it to the bartender?
The bartender takes the gold coin, looks over sure, yeah, we could do that.
He's a Goliath, by the way. No, I'm kidding.
Nah, a human, black hair, light scarring around the right cheek. Seems fairly affable, but very closed off too. Like, he'll listen to you, but he won't talk back much.
Hey, Ingrid made sure she left a tip in that amount, so she'll drop off that gold coin and head back to the table to wait for the 9 silver worth of. Are the 90 worth
Yeah, I was about to
of drinks
say.
to hit the table?
Let me check my sheets real quick on the pricing and quantities, just to make sure that I am not getting the amount that you're about to get wrong. Hey, D&D Beyond's actually running pretty fast right now for me.
Yay!
And that it even loaded. Sources. Come on. GMGTR. Who knows what that means?
I heckin' don't.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see here, 9 silver. So that is 1 silver. All right. After about maybe 10-15 minutes of mixing and filling drinks, the bartender brings over 2 mugs of ale, a medium-sized bottle of a plum wine, 3 shot glasses of a whiskey, it looks like, and just a sipping cup of a clear liquid that smells a little bit like paint thinner.
That's my budget for this place. And she just like scoots them out along the table.
Right, Mivana, you may
Hmm?
want some too.
She nods and grabs a glass and pours herself some of the plum wine. I'm working, but okay, thank you.
Ingrid slides her a whiskey chaser.
Yeah. All right. So, Mivana,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to lay it all out on the table. We have a problem. And by
She
we, I mean
grabs her-
Ingrid and I mean you, and I mean the Second Side Agency.
She kind of
What do you mean?
reaches for her
Yeah.
sword. It's like,
Not that
is-
kind of problem.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
You know, you thought she would pull something, right?
I thought she would pull something. I did not think that was what she would pull. I thought she was pulling an entirely different something. Something that I could live with. Alright. So, when we met with our families, Ingrid, you want to take this?
No, my family was there too. Mavana,
She
at the dinner party.
she blinks and nods slowly. Okay.
And you know, you remember you told us that story about it used to be one family and then it split?
Uh-huh.
It seems that his mom would like it to be one family that goes by Corvid again.
Okay.
They're trying to unsplit.
Unite is typically the word you'd use.
Okay.
Unsplit, but
Yeah,
We're
not even
trying, Fairdeer,
goblins
okay?
use that word.
She just kind of nods slowly.
So they want Rail and I to marry. We said no, of course.
Okay.
See, I was under the impression that my mother was trying to set me up with you.
She blinks confused at that point.
Well, I mean, you certainly
Oh.
seem to have, For someone whose entire job is talking, I'm not doing too well at talking about this. But I will be honest, Mivana. I thought that that my mother had set you as my bodyguard because she was trying to get me hooked to the Orzhov. She didn't want me to risk me leaving again.
She kind of nods again slowly. Okay.
And this was not an idea that I was entirely averse to. For various reasons.
Oh.
At some point in the future, as things might have developed on their own. It turns out that this was not what my mother had in mind.
I would think not. I'm fairly lowborn.
Right. You're sure you're not, like, secretly heir to some incredibly powerful family, or lost scion, or, like, the true ruler of Ravnica, or something like that? Because that would really help things out.
My great-grandfather grew turnips in the Greenbelt, I think?
Right. Not royal turnips or anything like that.
No, white.
That would really have made this easier. Okay, Ingrid and I don't want to marry. But the only other possibility... Ooh! The only other possibilities are Gregor and...
Eldon is the one that... of the twins she mentioned?
Are you asking me?
I'm saying that in the conversation.
Oh, okay.
Wait a moment. How old is... Gregor is, was it mid-20s?
He's 24.
The twins are 14.
Yes.
So you just have to convince your mom to wait around 4 years.
Ingrid, how old are you again? I know that's a rude question under the circumstances, but bear with me.
This
Almost
is where we're
18.
using text.
Almost 18.
So, okay. So, that's still not... I was going to ask you what you think of Gregory. That's still too big a gap.
I think he's not at all like my beloved, which is in Farkeep.
Oh, right.
I mean, the gap's not the problem. I mean, Rathen's probably about 140. But
yeah,
the problem is I already have someone I like. And the whole fact that by the time I look 25, Gregor would look like my grandfather. It would be just totally untenable.
Oh, God, I think I'm going to need a third shot.
It's starting to cool a little
Gregor?
bit, and as it cools, apparently the fruity flavor of it dwindles a little, and the kind of herbal spice of it becomes stronger. It's a very complex drink.
I mean, I get that maybe y'all would be ghost, and then, like, there could be some future with that. I really wasn't wanting to be, like, married to a ghost while I still was looking like I was in my youth. That just didn't seem like a good scenario.
That aside,
I point out at this moment that Ingrid is human.
Well, quote-unquote human.
No, human.
The moment.
I mean, I could just kind of... Honestly, I just file all that under Golgari junk. Don't think too hard about it.
I mean, I'm glad you're back with the Orzhov, and then, like, maybe I won't have to lose all my friends in a few decades. Because, you know, maybe I could just check in with you when you're a ghost. You know, if you get ranking with them and you don't make them too mad. But that's not good for a relationship. And honestly, let's face it, Real, I think you have vengeance problems.
I do not have vengeance problems. I simply don't react well to people threatening my family members. I know that may sound like a vengeance problem, but it's not. It's simply good business. God, I do sound like an Orzhov. Listen, the long and the short of it is, Asatha Brightsoul thought that they could use my sister as leverage against us as a company.
Grigham's
That-
friend and
Yes.
other people.
If people are going to use friends and loved ones as leverage against you, there are only two options. One of them is to not have any friends or loved ones, which I personally do not want to live that sort of life. The other is to make sure that anybody who might think of doing so knows very well the consequences of attempting to use friends and loved ones against you. It really is just, as I said, good business. But that's neither here nor there. I'm in Orzhov again. Yay. And we have to figure out some way to get out of this marriage without...
Are you saying all this aloud in an Orzhov
We're having
bar?
this conversation.
Just to clarify.
Yes, we are having this conversation out loud with alcohol.
you're having all this conversation out loud in an Orzhov bar under the influence of your mother.
Under the influence of an increasing amount of alcohol, yes.
Also, yes. But
Good
no, yeah,
thing
like this whole
Ingrid's
area
just
is
sipping
basically
stuff
owned
because she knows she's going to see Valora later, and she does not want to see Valora drunk.
Yeesh.
Well, Valora hasn't drank anything at this point.
by. Yeah, Valora hasn't had a drink in 5,000 years.
Yes.
The real question is, how much is Mavana drinking, and how is Mavana taking this?
She's sipping a little wine and looking, like, confused. Not particularly upset, but, like, okay.
How is Mavana taking the news? Not the news that there was an obvious ploy to try to reunite the family by trying to marry off a very influential son of an influential family, but the whole, so I figured that you were a bodyguard because she wanted me to marry you, and I'm happy with that idea.
Okay, Mavana had kind of hinted at that, or hinted that she had hopes in that direction. Is that incorrect?
I don't know about it that direction.
I think that's not so much a bridge as an entire continent too far.
Hey, I feel like we need more air. We should walk
She
to
does
the
not
next place.
seem particularly upset.
Yeah, no, but like Mavana had, correct me if I'm wrong, Mavana had hinted that she was hoping to get, basically to potentially hook Rail. Yeah? Is that not something that she had actually talked about as a possibility?
I think it's more like if a fan met a rock star type of thing, not a trying to actively get you to marry her thing.
I believe the phrasing I have used is devotional, religious, worshipful, stuff like that.
So, do y'all want to go to the next place or just head down to Roma? I think we're done here, right?
They have darts in Roma, because I think I'm doing pretty good here.
What did you roll anyway?
You know,
23.
Yeah, you're landing bullseyes.
no, we can find a nice patch of cave wall and you can throw some knives.
People are actively
I'll even
gathering
join you.
around Fairdeer and betting on whether he misses or not. They're not interacting with him, they're just placing bets on him.
Guess we should go retrieve Fairdeer, shouldn't we? You leave him here and just continue.
Let's not split.
Seems so happy.
Almost like it's his natural environment.
Natural environment.
What's that supposed to mean?
Not saying anything. But yes, all right. So, Mavana,
Yes, priest.
you probably know more about the ways of Orzhov than I do, honestly. I actively
Really?
tried to avoid learning for quite a long time.
I don't believe that for a moment, priest.
Damn it.
Or do I?
Ingrid goes over to collect Fairdeer.
Hey, we leaving now?
I think we need to get out of here and start heading towards the next stop.
All
I mean,
right.
we got to be there by 11.
Okay. Bye, Jules. Take care.
Bye. Like the barkeeper. Bar. I keep on wanting to say bar wench, and I know that's not the right term for it.
Server?
The serving girl waves at you.
Barmaid?
Thank you.
So let's head back towards the base and the Dromids, and
Grigum gets an
if we stop
inspiration
somewhere else, we stop somewhere else, right?
Sure.
Sure.
We can get a carriage.
Okay, I guess
All
you're
of
on
us?
to our next stop. Is it?
Yes, just one carriage for all of us. Be a little bit of a tight fit.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
we can
probably
get two
need at
carriages so we
least
can
two.
walk.
I kind of feel like walking.
Okay.
I think walking may be better in the long run.
All right, where are y'all walking to?
So I guess the question is, are we walking back to the base to get to the Dromids, or are we stopping at the open chapter?
Ding.
Brigham, you're the one leading with the drunkard staff. Are you taking us to the open chapter or back to our base to head down to Roma?
That's a good question.
You can always call a vote for it.
No, it's like not in this case. It's like because this is us trying to have fun. A vote would muddle the results. Here, tell you what. It's like, what were the choices again?
Heading back to our agency to get the Dromids and head straight to Roma, or stopping by the open chapter?
The open chapter is a known Azorius arrestor bar hangout.
So you guys seem like you had quite a bit to drink. Maybe this would be a good
Yeah,
time for you guys to kind of burn it off.
Yeah, we're heading to we're heading back to home base. It's like,
All right. It'll be about 9:30, 9:35-ish by the time y'all get back to the second site agency. The door is locked.
Assuming we have a key to our own place of business.
Yes, you do.
Oh, good.
As you
Otherwise, that would be a massive oversight.
Yeah. Just informing you that the door is locked. You unlock the door, go in.
We lock the door.
Amarestra is sitting at the U-shaped table with a book in just a nightgown, reading and sipping a glass of wine. She looks up as y'all come in. Oh, hi. Miss Cathal said y'all were probably not going to be back tonight. Do you need food?
I think
Oh,
we're
we've
all right
already
on
gotten
that scope.
food.
Oh, okay.
Could I take
Stopping
the
by to get
Dromids?
something. Thank you.
We'll be taking the Dromids down to the Undercity.
She blinks. It's like, the Undercity. Wow, that's... I've never been. I've heard it's scary.
Oh,
Can
my
be.
home's down there, Roma.
Huh. She kind of...
It's just, down and a bit west from here.
She nods a bit. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you.
It's a good thing these clothes were already designed as riding clothes when I first bought them.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna change clothes. That's a good point.
Alright, so y'all spend enough time for people to change out of fancy dinnerware into we're going to a place where people live in a perpetual darkness and occasionally knife each other for food.
I mean, Ingrid changes into her fancy Undercity clothes instead.
Yeah,
Thought the Golgari provided for everybody.
they do.
You get
So
tired of
do they
mushrooms.
just provide the knives? Here's food for you and a knife for you.
So about 9:45 or so, y'all would reconvene at the subterranean Dramid stables that Ingrid had Cathal construct, so y'all could keep and maintain the Dramids. This is the first time I've described it, but it's basically a largish 40 by 60 foot area on the third subterranean floor. Large open cave. There is a little artificial river that runs through it for the Dromids to hop around and drink from, and just like some fungal outgrowth along one side for them to graze on.
Everyone saddle up. Let's take Kay's saddle with us just in case, and we're headed to Iltik's Rise.
Okay.
Who's Cookie? Or who's Opal riding with?
Opal has her own Dromid. Oh, hey, what'd you name
Ah.
your Dromid, Opal?
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 Circling back around to that.
Yeah. The river you mentioned reminded.
They just
never found out
Mm.
where those fish people came from. The ones that went out through the drain.
The Kraken priests?
No, we didn't.
Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
That seems like the kind of thing that could come back to bite us in a big way. Especially given that, again, we have a river in our basement.
It's not like it's literally like maybe 6 inches across and maybe 4 inches deep.
Well, yes, but they left through a drain. Who knows what they could come back through? And we did not leave them on good terms.
Kind of
I'm
feel
just-
like they don't care about us.
Well,
I'm assuming y'all are having
Yeah,
this
what-
conversation while getting the Dromids ready.
Yeah, I'm getting Cocoa prepped.
And Rail has an extra little snack for Sticks because he always has an extra little snack for Sticks.
Watching them eat is kind of fascinating. Their mouth is composed primarily of a pair of mandibles that grabs food, and then 2 little appendages that are like a combination razor to shave bits of the food off, and finger to pinch the food and move it into their mouth.
You know, I had a pet grasshopper as a child.
Really, was this when you were studying for Druid craft?
Might have been.
Might have been. Look, I'll tell you all about my love life, but I'm not telling you
I
about
have
my
to keep
study.
some secrets.
You have a love
What's
life?
the point? Rail has an extremely successful love life. It's just gotten a little complicated as of late.
Too much
Colin,
success.
Mavana, Ingrid, apparently.
Lynn.
I said Colin. He was the
Maybe.
first. They were the
Okay.
first one I listed.
Devotion, flirting with devotion.
Oh well.
That's a bad
Devotion was just a
decision.
little light flirting.
Yeah.
You invited him to the agency to come back and see you for the night.
Well, yes. Like I said, little light flirting.
And his response was, "I know your mother."
Yeah. But they can't all be successful.
That's not something to be
Hopefully
concerned
we'll-
about either.
Well, hopefully we'll get to use a couple more sending and see if Colin and Rithan can go with us on an outing later. Some other time. Yeah, I am not ready to message anyone else tonight. Let's go see Choso. And Ingrid starts heading down the passageway.
Okay, so there is a way to access the Undercity, not from the main part of the facility. You have to take your subtram a little ways, because otherwise anyone in the Undercity could potentially find their way into the agency, and it's a lot harder to secure. So the subtram drops you off at a little Izzet maintenance station. From there, you can find your way to the Undercity fairly quickly. You said you were heading towards the Rise?
That's where we told Choso to meet us. Is the one in the center, right by the Rise, that is stairs between the 3 areas. So we're going to Iltik's Rise.
Okay. You're talking about the Fetid Mushroom. That's the bar you were hanging out at the last time y'all were in Roma.
It says north. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to the Rise to walk down to go to the Fetid Mushroom. Okay, got it.
Yeah. The Fetid Mushroom is in the north ward of, I believe, the Floridic. Let's see here. Yeah, North Floridic. So it's second tier north end. It takes all about maybe 40 minutes. You're pushing towards 10:25, 10:30 by the time y'all arrive at the upper portion of Ithilic's Rise, the 100-foot wide shaft that descends deep into the Undercity. At this time of night, and they do keep track of day versus night in the Undercity because of needing to interact with the above ground, especially since several people here work there. It's relatively quiet.
Getting a lot of echo. Did someone change to a more open headset or our speakers?
Pardon me.
Reverb. Yep, I'm hearing myself.
I'm not hearing anything on my end.
You're not hearing me?
Anyone else?
I hear you.
No, I hear you.
Oh,
I'm just not hearing
okay.
any reverb, so...
I
not
was
hearing
forbidden
reverb
and then it
either.
stopped.
Okay, well, we're probably good.
Okay.
It's be an interesting commute.
I mean, Ilthic's Rise goes almost all the way to the surface.
I mean, it's only 3 or 4 hours climb from Roma. It's a lot for like one day, but if you were like staying for a few days for a work shift or something, it's not bad. That's why we had the pump house, though,
Yeah.
as a place like reclamation crews could kind of camp out.
Fair.
Pardon. Fortunately for y'all, the Dromids, and after some work arranging seating to make sure everyone has a ride, y'all arrive at the Ilthic's Rise at the top part and follow the spiral staircase down to Roma proper. Now, Roma proper is divided into 3 tiers: the phylum, the Floridic, and the Thoreau. The Thoreau is almost impossible to get into if you're not actually a native of it, due to the fact that it is mostly a crawl hive. The Phylum is mostly residential with a few, services that you want to have close to where you live, like, food and stuff like that to take home to cook proper. The Floridic, where you head towards, is the mercantile tier. Returning to the Fetid Mushroom, it looks much the same as it did before. A large, squarish room carved out of the Undercity collapse. There are a few people in the general area, mostly Defcaran elves. A crawl bartender works behind the bar, kind of making chittering sounds at people. Of note, there is a unusual sight in the form of a goblin in Izzet robes, kind of just half leaning on the bar, with a human in matching robes beside him. Griggum, make a history roll for me.
Most certainly. He's like, let's see here.
Let's figure out what level of cousin this guy is to you. How goblins work, right?
Like, might be from my character. Anyway, 18.
It takes a moment because you haven't seen them in a while, but you recognize from the notch in the right ear and the kind of almost downward bend in the nose that this is Lugar.
Aha!
You do not recognize the human next to him, who, Halo, do you want to go ahead and describe Fritz?
Yeah. Essentially, he is a very tall and lean man, about his 30s, mid-30s to 40s. Black hair with 2 white streaks going through it. Light blue eyes. Very pale. He has a long Mizium cane that is full of all sorts of just gears and bumps and buttons and crazy stuff on it. He is sitting
Okay.
there drinking some alcoholic drink with stuff in it that is popularly served here.
The most common drink in Roma is essentially it is a kind of chocolate-flavored mushroom that is reduced to a paste, fermented, and then used as a base for alcohol.
That's what he's drinking.
So it's very alcoholic and very chocolatey.
So,
Yeah.
what was the name of the one I did recognize? You said,
It's Lugar. Luggar.
okay, 2 G's. And it's like- So, I'm like, for a moment, like, is that? It is, and just strides right over. Lugar! It's like,
He looks up, get him! And he
yeah!
Fritz, the goblin that you've traveled down here with, just lunges out of his chair towards another goblin, wraps him in a big hug, and they just slap each other on the back a couple times.
Is this a friend of yours?
I have a feeling we're going to need a bigger table.
I was gonna say, like,
Ingrid starts looking for tables.
out of
There's a
character.
few empty tables that you can push together.
Okay, so out of character, is this family or just close friend?
I believe first cousin.
Yeah, first
Yeah,
cousin.
that's right.
Yeah,
We called it.
Brigham certainly has all this knowledge down pat for himself. I do not.
Yeah,
So
Brigham
I'm
has
gonna be
8 first cousins.
Man.
So yeah, it's like
Ingrid's
my
pushing
cousin,
tables
Lugar.
together.
Lugar kind of looks around, sees them pushing the tables, goes and helps, and he's like, Fritz, come on.
what affiliation did he have, by the way?
He is an Izzet. He is an Izzet robes. Now that, you get a good look at him, he's carrying, it's not a cane. Y'all would actually recognize it as as a similar version of the pyroconverger that Bezel offered to sell y'all.
Ooh, Lugar has it.
Yeah, it's a 2 foot long with a little bit wider nozzle opening and a kind of shoulder brace. I can't remember the word for it. Not grip.
Fuck.
Stock. Thank you. Yes, a kind of shoulder stock at the back end of it.
Oh, Greg, when we first met, I thought you were Izzet.
Did the human companion have a similar thing?
No. Well, Fritz has a cane made out of Mizium with a number of little kibbly doodads on it, we will say.
Okay, but it's not similar to the one Lugar has.
It does not spit fire.
No, it does not.
He's
Suddenly a cat appears.
I'm gonna get up and start helping move tables and get everything, situated,
it's like,
and in a very OCD manner, make sure everything's perfect.
He's like,
Nice.
You know, guys, I should
Yes,
probably
yes.
send Watcher along to make sure, make sure we can stay there tonight.
Luger
Seriously,
kind of
me.
like
Is it?
turns. Yeah.
Ah,
Luger turns to Fritz and says, "Fritz, this is my cousin, Griggum. He's a tree hugger. Don't mind him too much, though. Okay."
nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's all good. And I'm gonna look over and just reach my hand out firmly to for a handshake.
Griggum takes it and gives it back. It's a pretty firm handshake. Like, what are you in terms of strength here?
8.
Just average.
Okay, just above for me. He's like 12.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
it's a
actually
pretty
10.
firm handshake there.
So yeah, it's decent. Mine's decent. It has a nice formality to it, though. Like,
Yeah. Understandable. Mine is a little more enthusiastic.
yes.
So, are you two researchers?
Luger like
We-
looks up. Holy, what the? This is shit. What you get yourself into now, cuz?
Look, I'm running a business, all right?
Don't bite.
Are you guys going to want to
Humanoids.
get your own rooms, or do you
Usually.
want to stay at the manor tonight? Should I ask about guests?
Luger point.
Sure.
Us? We've been
I mean-
sleeping here.
No, she's asking Rail and Griggum and them.
Could join us
Oh.
if
I
the
mean,
desired.
Well, I mean,
whoa, hold on.
I can't just
Like,
invite
we
them up
just
there.
bumped into them. We're not going to just drag them through our mess.
Nah, it's
I
fine.
did want Opal to get to meet Valora, though.
Yeah, I mean, like we gotta stay here. We're waiting for someone to come let us into the rot farm.
Do we know who that was exactly?
No,
No.
You were told
I
to- you were told
Just to
a
like
week.
the edge of the farm, or
You were told a week ago to wait at the fetid mushroom, and that someone will be
Yeah.
along to take you to the area you need to go to.
what do y'all need to go to the rot farm for? There's not even electricity there. It's not at the house.
Just
Well,
general inspections of sorts.
yeah, no, there's like, I mean, we got some. Luger kind of like coughs a little. There may be like a decommissioned facility nearby. We need to check on, maybe check a few artifacts out of there, stuff like that.
Oh god.
No,
This-
What are the
Near this rot
traps?
farm?
I'm sorry, what?
Near this rot farm?
I mean, there wasn't a rot farm there when we installed it.
Do you have paperwork? Rail, check their paperwork real quick.
Whoa. Hold on. This isn't our business. It's like, we're here for an entirely different reason. It's like, and on top of that, we're not working. It's like,
Doesn't hurt to check
Look,
the
what-
paperwork really quick.
ugh.
Yeah, what kind of traps are in this place?
not like we
I've
got
been through
before.
this song and dance before.
We're not doing that.
Wait, hold
right
on. It's like, again, we bumped into them. This is family. He's like, why are you trying to pull, like,
It's a storage
We just-
facility.
yeah. It's like,
I mean, I'm going to send Watcher there anyway. I figured I'd check if someone's supposed to be out here
Why?
meeting them.
oh, okay. It's like, if you want to help them with their meeting, sure. It's like, we can at least take a look at that. I know that you've connections here. It's like, anyway, how's it been? How's the rest of the family? Huh?
Luger said, he looks around and then he switches over to Goblin. And I need to
This is
open my
Austin
script.
Powers. This is an Austin Powers moment.
I don't speak Goblin.
It's like,
Come on.
instead of,
Open.
why don't we just speak English? It's like, all right then.
It's like, alright, so,
Ingrid's going
Haircut?
to go up and order them some drinks and crawl then.
Hairkit's, doing pretty good. He's on the mend. He's taking
muted?
on. No. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Do I need to
I'm hearing
reload?
him.
Okay, I'm going to reload.
Ugh.
And I have to fix the cameras.
I'm back.
Test
I
1, 2,
can hear you
3.
again.
Welcome back.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
So at least I missed whatever was in Goblin, since I shouldn't have known it, right?
Well,
You didn't do anything.
I didn't get to anything. Hairkit's doing okay. He's on the mend a bit more. He's taking on a workload for the coin counters to, work it down a little bit more.
Oh, damn.
The rest of the family's just kind of keeping busy. Couple threw in with the slag fists to get those neat ass stone bits. So yeah, that's really the tall
the
and
whole
wide.
With the thing with the skin and whatnot. It's like,
Yeah, shit. Like I saw. Well, they can punch like fuck now. Like one of them that I've seen them, like they had the whole like forearm done. It looked like brutal.
yeah, I took one of them down myself at one point.
That's fucking impressive, cuz.
I know, right? I was like, but yeah, I realized that I'm the white sheep of the family here, but
That's one way to put it.
yeah. It's like, but I've always been trying to keep an eye out on things. I was like,
Hey, so look, we've been here a week now. I'm getting sick of sleeping on this floor. If y'all can get us into that rot farm and so we can get the stuff out of there, I'd really appreciate it.
well, like, we do have some connections here, considering some of our last jobs. But like, I don't know. I was like,
How come they're talking about my old workplace?
Yeah, y'all are hearing like or rot farm or shit.
No, I went to order drinks and crawl. I wasn't going to go back to the table and use crawl.
Thank goodness, please don't use crawl and string.
Let me mute and then go ahead.
No, I'll skip it today.
You are clear for crawl.
I'll skip it today.
like,
I need more sound effects anyway.
but yeah, so like, yeah, I was like, I was like, well, certainly say that we probably could see what's up. Why we haven't gotten to you in a week, but I can't make any promises, especially with that, since I may end up doing this without paying.
Huh.
I mean, how far I was like, but like, yeah, we definitely could look into it. I mean, we're mostly here to like do some digging around ourselves. Well, I mean, not digging around. We're trying to catch people up with some news. So, like,
I mean, like anything you can do, we'd appreciate it.
yeah, not a problem.
Back is killing
like,
me.
not like patting him on the shoulders, like not a problem. All good with family. He's like, so what about your friend here? Like, what's with the?
I mean, human. His cane's fancy. He's mostly here just to, keep an eye on the bits and bobs that don't explode.
Are those more dangerous? I was like,
who fucking knows? I mean, like, I just got the guard duty.
Alright, yeah. Not a problem.
Right, he kind of stopped. They're all watching us, so we should probably stop.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
as fun as this is, I was like,
It is hilarious. And mostly y'all are hearing like, show, go, do. And then the two goblins start laughing.
Ingrid's gone up and passed another gold coin from the per diem up and gotten drinks dropped off.
Okay.
So how about that incursion, huh? Back in regular common.
You said another gold coin?
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, Rail's just gonna say in Goblin, could have gone worse, could have gone better.
Okay, so 9 silver.
What is like? What?
I
What?
forgot
does he
that
say?
Rail speaks Goblin.
Oh, I knew that. Like,
Wow.
I just hope that you would just keep your mouth shut about it.
Wow.
On top of
You
that,
didn't
I
say
spoke
anything
about
over
that.
the murmur.
He only
I
responded to
expected
how you said
you,
in common.
as the documenter, to actually be quiet about it and just become like our meeting recorder or something like that.
After about like a little bit of time, because these are large drink orders, a Devkaran elf, Maynard, in just like a very simple plain outfit, carries over 5 gallons of ale in pitchers and sets them on the table, as well as like a number of cups.
Need those for when Choso gets here.
You are getting close to 11 o'clock. 1 second, because we're also getting close to 1 o'clock. I know we had a little bit of a slow run start. We'll go ahead and go for a couple more minutes, but we're getting near our break, so don't get too buried into stuff, okay?
Okay.
Sure.
But yeah, like speaking in common, it was like, so how about that incursion, huh? I was like,
Ah, fuck, man. A week behind lightning shields, that sucked.
Yeah.
Well, you should have seen the other end of the barrier. Like, we were running around out there trying to do stuff. We got on one of those Boros ships and had to start fighting. Like, we faced off a dragon, like, in the face. And it's like, boy. Like,
I mean,
to be fair, it had some.
I
barely.
almost died twice to that dragon.
I mean, you could barely call something like that a dragon, though. I mean, you've seen the Fire Mind, right?
Yeah, true enough. Like, and I have to admit, though, it's like getting the Rakdos to draw a lot of those gruel over into the Orzhov district was. Mwah.
Shit, is that what that light show was?
Yeah, we had a good friend of ours under our payroll to help provide some Izzet artillery to the festivities.
Let me tell you, whatever that light show was, it was hilarious, because the second it went off, every Ratchet Fairy in the Nyx started slamming into the walls.
Oh no, poor Spanner.
Oh, they're fine. Like, most of them were fine. A couple of them, like, banged their head, but none of them were badly hurt.
I have to check in on
good.
Spanner now.
Almost half a year later,
No, but Ingrid would still be like, I'm gonna have to check in on Spanner now.
half a year later, hey, you hired us for this one job and we haven't contacted you since. But I heard you may have gotten hurt 6 months ago. Are you okay?
Oh.
Don't knock it. She's got a method.
Oh.
Look, people like her are a little bit more longer lived. They're slow to do stuff.
No, we should check in with Spanner anyway. See about identified this metal on my armor. I want to kind of get like a matching headband or something. I should find out more about it. Bricks and metals and stuff.
Sorry, you cut out like a lot. I did not hear like any of that. I'm gonna reload. It's like clipping a lot.
Yeah, I've been starting to get like some issues.
But can the rest of everyone hear me okay?
I
hear
hear
you.
I can hear you.
Let's do a sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Floridic throw?
I love you, woman.
So she was just saying, should check in anyway and see about more metal like this armor. And kind of like fingers the edge of the armor.
What type of metal is it?
Make a alchemy. Oh, wait, no.
Arcana?
Arcana. That's the word.
Arcana.
Yeah. To see if you can
Uh.
recognize magical metals at a glance.
Yeah, 13.
13. I mean, it's clearly a derivative of a higher grade metal than mithril, not as refined as Misium. You would place it somewhere on the adamantine scale, probably.
Okay. I could see if there's some way we can get reserves of it. I would have to do testing to see exactly what type of. It looks like adamantine is of some sort. Maybe at least 25%. Something else could be in there. That we can really find out what percentage is used.
I mean,
And
we can't
perhaps
alter anything. It's really old. You'd have to test it without doing anything to it.
Yeah, we would only need like a couple flakes. There are ways to
What kind of testing would
extract
you
it.
do?
Well, essentially, the simplest explanation of it. Essentially, you boil out into separate different pieces, and then you essentially reconstruct the molecular level and find out at least which parts have which metals, and just kind of test it with different other properties, liquids and other things that could just kind of determine what they are. Adding certain alkaline solutions will change different colors depending on which metal is used.
Sounds really great. Or maybe we could just get something that's kind of close and looks a lot like it. It's
Maybe
kind of an heirloom thing. I don't think it would. It looks a little defensive of her armor, and she kind of scoots back a little bit in her chair.
Alternatively, could we try testing it with light and seeing what the refraction is off of it?
We could. We would have
sounds
to.
Great.
Yeah, we would have to at least bring it down and polish it enough where we can get the true version of the metal. There are several chemical liquids that we could bring and do that. It would not harm the metal whatsoever. It would just remove the outer layer of any detrimental things, rust, any other negative stuff.
It shouldn't rust up. It's magically infused. I could do prestidigitation on it to clean it.
We could. That might work.
Ingrid looks downright defensive about her armor, and she's still kind of scooted back in her chair.
Yeah, and I'm obviously more prone to let's do it the step-by-step way without a lot of magic. Let's find out the technical aspects of it, That's why I'm butting heads a little bit. Let's attempt your method first.
Okay. So, would you have to be at a guild hall or something to have the tools?
We would need a lab just to have a good safe area where nothing else could happen.
The storage facility out near the rot farm would probably have everything you need.
Yeah, we could definitely test it at the storage facility. Once we get
missing
there.
one that Roma overgrew. Yeah, it has grown so fast here. It is hard to believe. It was just barely the house and the rot farm when I got here.
We should be able to clear out what we need.
I'll send
sure.
Watcher on, and if you don't have paperwork, just kind of write out what it was you were here for, and I'll send him with the note.
Yeah, I do not believe we have paperwork, right?
You were mostly told, go here, check on this thing. You got here, and checking on this thing turned out to be impossible, because there is a rot farm that is heavily guarded there.
Yeah.
And a little pseudo-dragon with bandages squirms out from under her birdwing cloak and hops on the table and looks at you expectantly.
All right, I'm going to attempt to write some sort of document that would, we have permission here by a fake higher up in the guild that would not be really known, but, could be similarly known. Would that be possible?
With
deception roll or
Yeah,
something?
I'd say make a deception. Just to
All
try and
right.
create a realistic sounding name.
Yeah. Let's see. That is a 15 plus
You
9.
don't know who actually
That's a-
gave you the orders?
24. Yes, but if we get into trouble, we don't want to get our supervisor in any trouble whatsoever.
All right. So
that is a 24, by the way.
all right, John Izzet sent you down here apparently. No,
John
you
Izzet.
write out a semi-formal looking document, adding names as necessary, and forging or creating signatures as necessary as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of like older lingo that like kind of hasn't been used in common culture for a long time, and especially that's been used. Also, stuff that just sounds old. If that makes sense.
Are you writing it in common, or what are you writing it in?
Is
I'm writing
Monday
it in common.
Yeah. I would think that most such documents would be so.
Yeah, no, it's definitely in common. But it's more like common with old, like essentially if like talking now, if you add like old English, just hints
Fairly
and-
onto, yeah.
Probably kind of like a combination of legalese in it with
Yeah.
very like, certain very specific terms.
So I send Watcher off with info that dramatic things are going on and my friends are here and do you want to meet Opal and can they stay? And we found some people with rot farm business.
Watcher like makes direct eye contact with first Lugger and then Frizz for a second, like just holding the stare. Rolls up the paper without looking away, brings it up to his mouth, and then flies off down one of the side passageways.
Thought he was going to eat it.
Did you notice his necklace? Real? Now you don't have to
Right.
worry about him being mad when you cast that thing that makes them all scared anymore.
CR0 undead would die if they failed a turn against
dear.
Rails level.
Yeah, let's not kill Watcher. How about that?
Valora protected him.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. I like Watcher.
He's got a better necklace now than a string tied because that was also kind of unsafe. So she made him a necklace that we could put all his stuff on. And also that keeps him from being killed by you, apparently.
Good.
Watcher now has a
was gonna say
torque of
good.
turn resistance. I really need to get back to working on my familiar folio.
Besides which, I have better things to use my turn for anyway.
He didn't like it. Like when you were like, all hands get away, and he was like, "Eek!"
The best part
And he,
was
like,
that
dug
didn't
into
even
my back.
affect the hands.
I know.
The best part was what?
Crawling claws have immunity to have turn resistance.
Dang. Oh well.
That's why they didn't react other than starting to try and grab you when you tried to turn them.
That is surprising, actually.
Hmm.
Apparently, I accidentally ordered 5 gallons of ale, so
We'll make good use of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's see here now. Basic ale at a gallon, 2 silver pieces. You gave them 9, and they rounded you up because they recognize you. But we're going to go on break real quick. I need to stretch my legs and get something to drink that's not booze infused Dr. Pepper. We'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes, or whenever we all manage to get back here.
everyone type when you're back so we know you're back.
Yep, type your back.
All right.
While we're away, a commercial or two will run. You don't have to stick around for those, but if you do or don't, either way, we're just trying to recoup some of the costs, and work towards getting funds together to get character art for our new players. We'll be back shortly. Okay, we're on intermission screen now.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, and I'm muting y'all now.
Relationship with the Selesnya at this moment is like, where it's like, yeah, he's a part of it. It's like he doesn't quite buy into it entirely.
Hey guys, guess what?
Mhm.
We're back.
Hey. You'll have to change format, I guess. There we go.
Yeah, surprisingly, I didn't delete any of my previous formats, so when people drop, like, apparently, Cookie had to run due to some allergies. It's just a matter of me switching to an older format that I need to revise some. I'm seeing green lines around people. Anyway, let's see here. We left off with the group having arrived at the Fetid Mushroom in the Floridic North Ward of Roma. Having run into a cousin of his, Luger, Griggum and the rest of the agents have sat down and are sharing drinks with Griggum's cousin as well as his coworker Frizz. Ding!
And Ingrid's scanning the crowd, watching for Medusa.
It's like a little bit before 11 still. Like it's 10:55.
Yeah, and Faradir is really talking up Frizz because it's been a while since he's been able to really talk shop with a researcher, and it may be at the point of getting slightly socially awkward, probably.
Well, let's find out.
Tell him about your new lab at the company.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do some research on at my company. Right now, I got a bunch of notes on like the properties of slime in the recent area.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have the
slimes and weirds are?
There are molecularly they're a lot different, but in theory they are very similar. From my experience with weirds and the very little experience I have with slimes and oozes and stuff.
So, like, do they just send y'all around to, like, decommission places to pick up stuff? That would be good to know in the future.
Essentially, yes. To keep the infrastructure and protect, like, anything bad from happening, Like, for example, let's say someone accidentally leaves a hydrokinetic bomb of sorts underneath something, and eventually decay comes in, like in this rock farm, and the plants kind of pull it apart just enough to trigger it and cause essentially a large explosion that could put a lot of people in trouble and like serious risk of death.
I'll have like a department or something, like, in case that happens. So, like, who we should contact?
You know a lot about explosives?
Yeah,
I
do you
mean-
know a lot about explosives?
I know a decent amount. And
Yeah,
as far
'cause-
as contacting, if it does happen, the Azorius Guild is probably your best bet.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, like, if we
Um,
find something, like,
Oh, if you wanted to, okay.
like, when there was the pump house and all the machinery, and we just kind of pushed them to the side in the corridor and used the rooms, but
Oh,
Like,
I mean-
sometimes is it like just theoretically have things that they don't necessarily want the general public to know about, and you just kind of decommission it,
You
for the safety of Ravnica, but not with all the red tape, hypothetically.
realize this is the Izzet, right? It's like,
yeah. Common practice would be to properly decommission it and have it reused for parts. Though rogue labs may just leave stuff in proper places.
Right,
Um,
like let's say like you find out about a rogue lab, but you don't necessarily want it getting out that a rogue lab.
maybe it's not even
Happen.
useful. Is it components in said rogue lab? Maybe
Yeah.
it's other components.
Ingrid,
I mean,
Well-
really and truly, the main concern is, of course, making the safety of Ravnica. What happens to the components is kind of
Yeah. There are several laboratories that you can donate or possibly sell any items like that to that can be repurposed. Or if you do happen to find one, if you do know the proper way to utilize it, then you can repurpose that said laboratory that we don't know about. I don't know about. You may
The
probably
ones that just need to be blown up. Is there a procedure in place for that?
Graham
mean-
looks to Lugar, and it's like, boy, these are some pretty specific questions, aren't they?
a little bit, yeah. Ingrid, a hand
Yeah.
clamps over your eyes.
What'd you say?
A hand clamps over your eyes.
What?
Everyone else, you see a leanly muscled Medusa woman come up behind Ingrid, slip a arm around her shoulder and a hand over her eyes.
Hey!
oh,
Yeah, this
Those of you
Looking
who
over.
were at Ladies' Night
What?
recognize this as Choso, though
Long time no see. It's like,
it is a little difficult to recognize her because she is not wearing the darkened lenses over her eyes that she was wearing above ground. So you actually learned that she has purple eyes.
hey, glad you could make it.
Her tendrils kind of writhe a little as she looks at Faradir up and down, smiles, and then takes her hand off of Ingrid's eyes and sits in a chair next to her. So, you wanted to see me, hun? What's wrong?
Lots of things.
You point me at the problem, and I will solve it for you.
she says lots of
Oh,
things,
it's
but she
only-
needs a lot of things happen. Nothing bad. It's like, just worrisome. It's like,
She kind
Very
of
worrisome,
smiles
though,
at her.
but I'm not sure if it's like a direct solve. It might need some indirectness. I'm trying to figure it out still. So Rail's my third cousin.
Who's Rail?
Yo.
Stu.
Okay.
Rail just kind of waves a hand.
So, like
They
the
found that out
family
recently. He's like,
I kind of ran away from.
You mentioned it once, I think.
Yeah. So we got invited to Rail's family party, for him and his business associates and stuff. And my family from before, from there, was there. And so they're like, it was a split family in the past, like the branch families, like the elves sometimes, with their branch family mechanics and stuff. So they're like, we want to reunite the branch families. And they're like, we want you and Rail to get married.
And she looks over at Rail and she's like, so that's the problem?
Yep.
I can solve that.
No killing.
reaches over, stabs Rail. There, problem solved.
Well, I mean, I already have an interest, and Rail's kind of vengeful and stuff, and he gets old fast. And
Excuse me.
I
I've
know
gotten younger
that.
since you met me.
He's actually gotten younger.
And she goes to hug Choso.
Choso smiles and hugs back. You can see that she has two dainty little upper fangs. As she hugs Ingrid, her kind of hair tendrils kind of pull back, slick back, and kind of coil around each other into something resembling like a bun almost. It's like, so, how do you want me to solve this problem for you? I can take care of this right now if you want.
I mean, I told them that Valora is my mom.
Okay.
And I told them my last name's Omaroma now. And they're not listening, and they're like, oh, there's always a place for you in the guild. There's never been a place for me in the guild there, and it's stupid.
They don't want you in the guild, they just want the family name reunited through marriage.
She specifically said stuff in there.
I mean, I believe she was fine with you staying Golgari, but I'm sure that what happened was the news of the engagement.
There's no engagement.
Wait. That's it. We fake it. That's what we do. Okay, hear me out.
Depending on what he
we
says
find-
next, there might be a quick solution. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Choso.
Choso starts to look towards Rail.
we find somebody in the Corvidae family who died, right? We find somebody who died, and we forge that they had a kid.
I mean, my
Holy
cousins.
shit.
Wait,
No,
My
that's-
cousin's like the same age as me.
Oh.
They could have just married
See,
her off instead.
I was just thinking like you had me use alter self for a few hours and go through with the wedding, and then
No, we faked the family tree. We set up
mean,
somebody else as
That's
somebody
the whole
else.
thing. They didn't even invite Sarar.
I will point out that your aunt handed over the family tome that has a complete family tree within it.
Damn it. Well, wait,
mean,
complete
they
on
wouldn't
both sides
even-
or complete on...
On Ingrid's side.
Damn it.
Didn't even invite Sarar over, and she's between our ages. No, I think they're not. I think they're trying to avoid that side because of some of the Rakdos associations.
Blast it.
Choso,
Ah.
there's so Do we do this here, or she looks over? Where would you be most comfortable?
I really
No
just
killing.
wanted you to come hang out with me and be moral
Oh,
support, and I
okay.
needed hugs. Is that okay?
If that's what you want, hon, and she'll like actually reach over and give Ingrid like another hug.
Aww.
It's like, and as you remember when y'all met her the first time above ground, she seems much less standoffish in that she is literally not standing off to the side watching everyone now.
Alright.
She's probably in like more familiar territory for one thing.
Well, yes. And she doesn't have to hide her eyes.
Would have talked to Cha too, but she still has trouble with being down here.
Your friends, she adds as she looks around the table, tend to be rather eclectic. I'm sure everyone is more comfortable in their own space.
Certainly. I didn't mean that as a criticism.
Mm-hmm.
It's an observation.
Mm-hmm.
She's just
Are
really
you?
bad at talking to people, Choso. We found this out.
Yep. That's why it's me and Griggum and Ingrid. Because we're the ones who don't put our foots in our mouths. Except when I'm drunk, which
Speak
I
for
am.
yourself.
Oh, Choso immediately booze, right. And she grabs a cup and pours herself some ale from one of the 5 pitchers y'all bought.
Yeah.
So,
Choso, how's work been going?
Oh, you know how it is. You get a target, you eliminate the target, you crush it under your heel.
Wait. Okay, out of character for a second.
Mhm.
Wasn't she in Reclamation?
At one point,
Oh, she's not there anymore.
neither is Ingrid.
Okay. Sorry, I thought she was currently in Reclamation.
No, currently
I was
she-
very
Make a history roll for me.
Okay. Yeesh. I want to say that's 11. Let me check. Yes, 11.
So you don't know what it means, but you have heard reference to Choso being in the Orchon.
Okay. Pretty much she does what I do.
No!
That sounds good. I hope it hasn't been too monotonous.
Oh, I've
I've been-
added some lovely pieces. I should show you my garden.
I've got to go to the Red Waste soon. But maybe after that we'll get some downtime. Can go visiting.
assuming a dragon doesn't need us. That's what we do. We fake our deaths.
Choso
That would
kind of like...
make-
You realize that if you do that,
sips her-
that means that you're not on our payroll anymore.
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, I could fake that I'm dead and still be on the payroll, right?
She's the one that handles the payroll. That would be very ironic.
Look,
Well,
let's
if you can
not
let your
fake
Gari
anybody's
Mama-
death.
Maybe we could talk Gregor into.
Besides, this is
marrying the dragon.
Orzhov and Golgari. I think their concept of death is very different. You're.
Did we say talk Gregor into marrying the dragon?
It
Wait,
would
what?
distract my mother.
But it, though. Also, you're a terrible son, by the way.
Oh,
How
that is horrible.
Look, I understand that your mother is a little difficult, but she's still your mother.
Choso
How
like...
often do you
Don't
check
put
in?
her
with her?
through
mother,
faking
I
your
love her.
death.
And
Choso,
she's
like-
also a scheming, and then he just kind of says some very unpleasant words in draconic, Vidalcan, and Abyssal. That you
Choso,
can kind of
like,
put in
drinks
context.
her. It's like, I murder people, and I think that was a bit much.
Yeah.
She is
Wait,
trying to get
hold
me
up.
married to a coworker. A
To
coworker
watch
is
your back yet?
Oh, Yeah,
trying to get
Watcher's
to
just kind of like
who?
lazily flying around the ceiling.
Hey, Watcher, what did he say?
What? Huh? He?
Trinos Draconic.
Oh, Watcher can't translate words for you. He gives you an image of, like, you know where in comics to represent cursing, they type up, like, exclamation point at $percentile, so on.
Yeah.
That, he gives you a
I
visual representation of that.
have a feeling that while the exact meaning wasn't clear, the the takeaway was most likely, but given context.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you can gather from context.
yeah, like it's probably pretty certain that he was swearing up a storm, and what specific words he was using probably. Well, thank goodness he decided not to do this in the Orzhov bar, but
That's Rael's mother is the kind of person where it's great to have her on your side. It's just terrible to have you doing things for your own good.
Yeah.
If that makes
I
sense.
get it. She's like this is the greater good, and you trying to make your own decisions means that you're going against that.
Exactly.
But she's still your mother. I mean,
Yup.
Choso?
Yes, son.
And she'll lean over to Choso and be like, and I found out that Rathan had a daughter too.
Really? You want me to take care of any of that?
No!
I'm just checking, hon.
Just want to tell you.
Okay, well, I mean, if you're okay with it.
It's being hidden like a secret. And Ingrid actually accidentally goes back to full volume for that part.
It's like, well, maybe
I
you
have to
can
think
do
it's
something
also
about
like
that.
broadcast over the Spy's Murmur.
Oh. I mean, we don't know what's being broadcast without us actually broadcasting it, but she's not actually broadcasting it.
Oh, I mean, like accidentally, so it's just like this resounding yelling right in your ear.
Not in your ear, in your mind. It's
Yeah.
telepathic.
Exactly.
It used the spy's murmur.
I was
That's
making a
between
joke.
you and
Anyways.
Fairdeer, not me.
I was making an out of character joke.
I mean,
Anyways,
I can get that Kermit the Frog meme if I need to.
do one meme and then all of a sudden, no, I'm kidding.
You know what's the weirdest part of all that, Rail?
What?
She wants to have it at the harbor.
She wants to what?
That she wants to have the wedding at the harbor is the weirdest part. I mean, I don't know how long you've been not there when they, but their chantry's here. You live here. I live here. Our work is here. I don't want.
That's true.
I mean, the harbor's pretty and I mean, it's really smoggy and crowded up, and you're not supposed to swim in it. And people disappear, and you can always find some swimsuits at the fine broker because of all the people that get hit by shipping boats. But I mean, it's really pretty, and I like the open water. But why would you have a wedding there, of all places, when we're all in 4th district now, precinct now?
Can I do a medicine check on Ingrid as to how much she's drank at this point?
Sure, go ahead.
She's kind of really. Oh, never mind.
You normally roll like 20s. I don't know what's happening to your dice. I should have
9.
thrown y'all into combat.
She's mostly been barely sipping. She's just kind of legit
Yeah,
worried.
very exuberant.
And
right now.
her
I get
gossipy
it.
and her gossip friend is here.
Choso is on her second cup and just has an arm over Ingrid's shoulder.
I like her. She's good for a murderer.
Was that in character or out?
Out.
Okay, smart.
I would not say that aloud.
Can can literally kill you by looking at you.
But while we're gossiping, do you know Faradir's really bad at flirting with people?
No.
Little
Yeah. So-
obvious. Slightly obvious.
Well,
Yeah.
Watcher, did we have leave to stay at the house tonight?
Watcher sends you a mental image of a blood apple, a apple coated in honey.
Blood apple, I mean an apple coated in honey. Wow.
What about that missive? Should we drop them by the rot farm?
Apple
Yeah, I
coated in
feel
honey
like-
again.
That means I can escort y'all. I probably have to stay around while y'all do stuff.
Yeah. We
Lugar
probably need to
kind of like
supervise.
looks up from the drink. He's like,
Probably a good idea.
well, I mean, oh, excuse me. Oh, like burps. So I had a bit too much to drink, I guess. Yeah, no. We can do like that examination of your breastplate too while we're there.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Frizz?
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, there should be some leftover supplies and goods there. If not, then he kind of like
Oh, you have
fills
your
his
answer.
cup and you start to think that Grigham's drinking may be a familial trait.
Or genetic.
So are y'all just planning to like cart everything out of there, or what's the plan?
Only the stuff that is special, mainly. Some of the other stuff we may not need.
Yeah, Luger kind of like,
Any metals will be useful.
yeah, it's mostly a like, hey, what's in here kind of thing. I mean, record keeping. Who keeps records?
Yeah, they probably have to do. Yeah, it's actually just because of the fact that for tax season they want to get as many assets on their balance sheet. So they're like, yeah, we totally have that.
I mean, allocation-wise, if you don't use all your stuff, then you don't get as much stuff next budget.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, that's
To
how
be
we
honest,
ended
I'm
up
pretty
with
sure that's exactly how like actual government departments are like. Like they probably do go to like the storage facilities and stuff and be like, "Yep, this is all ours, for sure."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are we going now, or in the morning, or tomorrow, or tonight, or we can go now, or I really don't want to sleep on this floor again?
Let's go now.
Let's go now.
No.
Do it.
I think I'm nice and not sober enough to go. Let's go.
Yeah, like I'm six sheets to the wind, and I think that this isn't a good time.
Question. So, my experience with Izzet Labs is they have defensive mechanisms.
We'll
Would
blow
you-
right through 'em.
If that's true, then would you guys be okay to disable them in your current
Yeah.
state?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, as long as you guys go first.
yeah. No, it shouldn't be a problem.
Just make sure y'all have the guild symbol. They like to use that for their stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Interior just has a faraway look with, images of Vietnam happening in black and white.
Last time I had to create
No,
one. The
images of
facility
the
just
Global
decided I
Invasion.
should look 12 years old.
No, there's
As long as
just
you already have them.
it's just a black and white image of a rundown old shack that slowly shrinks into the background while you hear high string instrument play.
And Ingrid keep on getting into a freaking net.
I miss
Yeah,
what.
well,
Go
I'll
ahead.
let him
To
know
be
when-
fair, sorry.
him know we're done with the drinks on the table. If we end up coming back, we can always get fresh ones.
All right. After he kind of like climbs over the bar, comes to you, like looks around. It's like y'all emptied maybe a pitcher and a half. It's like,
You can just give them to the next group. Sorry about that.
he kind of like chitters something at Ingrid and nods, and starts carrying the pitchers back to the bar. Apparently, Ingrid does not know how to buy drinks.
Apparently not. No.
Thought we were gonna get an assortment, not like a whole bunch of volume of the cheap stuff. So, right now, Ingrid does not really know how to buy drinks.
You've never been to a bar before?
Into several bars today.
I was trying to stay away from them.
Why?
I only went on the room. It's probably okay because we're out of area. Anyway, hey Choso, you know what the weirdest thing is about shopping in the upper city? You have to go to a different store for everything you want.
Really?
Like, I wanted a swimsuit, and I had to go to a clothing store. And then we wanted a map, and we had to walk around until we saw a map store.
You should have just found a fine broker.
No! Like, it's crazy up there. I get homesick sometimes.
Well, you're home now. And she, like, reaches over and gives Ingrid another hug.
You want to go to the farm with us, or do you need to get back?
Oh, I'm actually going up the rise. I have a target that I need to see tonight.
One of us, right? One of us, right?
No, it's not one of y'all.
Good. Okay. Always good to know.
Be hunting.
Oh,
Yeah,
always.
we got professional courtesies.
Yeah, sure.
Grickham just, it's like...
Definitely. She, like, finishes the cup. It's like, well, I'm going to go see if I can add a new piece to my garden.
Hopefully they'll make an interesting face for you.
Sometimes they do. It depends on how much they know is coming, and like if you can negotiate or trick them, or anyway, like bye.
And the amount of blunt force trauma you use.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
She kind of waves and she heads out of the fed mushroom towards the rise that y'all had entered from.
Did I do better this time?
You didn't flirt with her at all this time, so it's really hard to say.
I
You
started
get
making
the hang of-
conversation.
Yeah.
Like
You'll
how her
get the
workday
hang of
was
it
going.
sometime. Uh-huh. That was better. And you didn't walk off from talking to her without explanation and go pet an owl. That was a lot better.
Oh yeah,
Luger
that was
just kind
probably a
of
bad thing, wasn't it?
looks from person to person, looks into his cup. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, lab.
Okay.
I will just ride the dramas really slow, so they can walk along.
I don't know what that means.
So that the other two who don't have drummets can
You
keep
keep
up
on
with the
using this
party.
word.
Our mounts, you'll see them. We're about to go get them.
They're
Oh,
cute.
I'm sorry.
Because you guys are in no condition to go anywhere.
I'm totally fine.
I am.
Yeah,
Look,
we're good.
Get to it first thing in the morning. We don't need to be, like... We've been through a lot. It's like, we need time to...
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You are not
Yeah.
fine. It's like,
It's only
like
I'm sobering
midnight,
up.
and I've only had like half as much as twice of what you've had.
I have to come back and get them then, because I
Yeah.
mean we're not spending the night here.
They don't want to spend the night there.
I
here.
really don't want to sleep on this floor again. This
Look,
is rock,
look.
if you haven't noticed.
Yes, it's rock. It's like, but you're in no condition to meet someone of importance right now.
I don't need to meet someone of importance. I need to blow up a door.
Right, and I don't want you doing that drunk.
Well, I don't want to be doing that sober.
Watcher, could you just go
Exactly.
check if they could stay with us too for one night? Oh. We'll just walk up and we'll check.
look, all I'm saying is that I still have a sense of professionalism here. And
We'll
I
take
think-
them up to the house. They can stay in your room.
My room? What? It's like,
I can stay in my room.
okay,
Guest
Wait.
room that Valores?
Yeah, like one of the 8 guest rooms at that house.
what house is it?
The Valora's
I
mansion.
thought y'all wanted to stay at Valores tonight. I have to go to Valores tonight.
Oh, it's like,
I mean, you didn't want to
that
go
what we're
back
doing? It's like,
for that climb drunk on a drama, did you?
like, that's what we're doing? It's like,
Yeah.
It's just north of here. I mean, down one
couldn't
level
at
in
least
north.
told me. It's like,
No, you can get to the Rot Farm from this level.
okay, we'll stay at better accommodations, it's like, and then we'll go in the morning. How's that? It's like,
I want there to be a hotel chain named Better Accommodations now. It has the advertising written for it. You could
They're
stay
not the
at
first, but boy howdy, are they the best.
You could stay at Motel 6, or there's Better Accommodations. But no, in all seriousness, like, I love Motel 6. That was where I was staying when I drove cross country. The 4 times I drove cross country last year.
Love you, honey.
I love you, wife. Twice with cats.
So we'll start heading down with the Dromeds
Alright.
and heading north, and then I'll see if Laura's okay with them staying there so they can
Oh, they're there. Okay.
Okay.
help with the armor tomorrow.
So, forgive my expediency. Y'all go down to the hive where you have stored the Dromeds, bring them back up, take the group to the Rot Farm, get them past the guards that would not let them in, lead them past where they need to go, through the large, spooky, fog-shrouded underground forest that has shapes moving in it, to the large manor, undercity manor of Valor Omarona. As you approach, there is a single crawl standing at the foot of the stairs in front of that lead up to the mansion main hall, holding a wide, backwards curved bow with several spikes studding out along the front edge of the curve of it.
Brand! Do you have a spiked bow? I can finally show Faraday your spiked bows.
It kind of tilts its head, clicks a few times, and holds the bow out towards Ingrid.
She goes over and gives him a quick hug, and then grabs the bow and runs back to Faraday. Look,
Just
look,
bring
they're like
Fair
this.
Deer closer. It's like, don't deprive the guard of his bow.
The guard is more dangerous without the bow than with it.
It's got spikes like this, so if you're doing like tight tunnel fighting and you can't get a good beat on them and they duck around a corner, then you just go bam, bam, bam with the spiky part of the bow. And then you don't have to drop it or switch weapons, and then you can shoot the next person.
It looks a
Where
bit...
did this come from?
Okay, you think a Klingon bat'leth made out of wood with a bowstring on the back of it. And that's roughly what you have.
this be as good as my current bow?
Your current stupid bow that lets you shoot twice with every attack action?
Oh, the longbow, not the
Yes, it's better than
crossbow.
your shitty longbow.
Where do you get one of these?
If he was looking for ones of birth, where do you think that would be a good place to find one?
You
Lowest level?
get a response that is a series of clicks in rapidly escalating volume, and then is followed up by a faint but slightly pungent smell of kind of a overripe cheese.
Low level, just ask around.
There you go.
Okay, and I hand back the bow. That's a very interesting and good bow.
Gotta check with Valora, and she hands him back the bow. That work order where they said I could take him by, I was wondering if they could just camp with us tonight too, and then we could go in the morning. I think I'm a little bit tipsy to be dealing with Izzet machinery. I'm sorry, Zev.
It's like kind of takes one of its multitude of hands and rubs the top of Ingrid's head, and then gives a light pat and then points towards the doorway.
And she sets the dromids kind of tied together and grazing near their area, since we have a little dromid port now.
The dromids stay the fuck away from the woods.
Valora, I'm home.
As you enter into the main hallway of the mansion and shout that out, there is a momentary pause where nothing happens, and then from the receiving chamber, the door opens, and a very soft brown-haired gentleman looks to the left and the right, steps out, his ears kind of shifting from just kind of human to a little bit longer than elf length. He's like, Ingrid, and comes forward and hugs, hello, sister.
Hey.
So you brought, a new friend. Oh, two new friends. Sorry, I thought I was seeing double for a moment there.
Well, some of the workmen have to decommission some stuff in case, Izzet machinery goes boom under the rat farm or something. And I thought, maybe since I was a little tiny bit tipsy to help them tonight, they could just stay and we could help them in the morning.
I will, yes, here, introduce me, please, and then I will get the rooms ready and I will send her down.
Well, you already know.
This
Gerga.
is Lugar.
He, takes Lugar's hand, shakes it, and a pleasure.
And this is
Filled. But most call me Frizz.
Frizz, nice to meet you. He takes your hand, shakes it, clasps it, and his hair kind of shifts to match yours. I am the Tears of the Fallen.
Well, nice to meet you.
I will send Valora down, and I will start getting rooms ready for you all. And he kind of closes the receiving chamber behind him and starts up the stairway at the back of the hallway.
Thank you, brother. I have had such a day.
That's your brother?
Well, you know how at the dinner they're always blood this and blood that. Well, he's my brother.
Metaphorically. Okay.
It's like the
I
substance
see.
that goes through your body.
Okay. Because, yeah, I thought there was a solution there, but alas.
Would that have been a solution? Because, isn't Clefra spoken for? Clefra?
Clefra.
Isn't Clefra spoken for? I don't think that would be a solution. Huh?
Anyways, the character, have I actually been here before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like remember
Okay.
this was the same place we were in when we had to out of character. It's like, that,
You
like
don't have to
this
do
was
this out
pretty
of
much,
character.
huh? Like,
You don't have to do this out of character.
well, I want to do it out of character because I don't want to have to mention dragons in front of everyone in character.
Wrong city, Griggum. This isn't
No.
Farkeep.
This is where we got the Dromeds to go rushing around for that, right?
Oh, no. That's Farkeep, where Rithin lives.
Yeah, and this is where we had the invasion and whatnot coming in.
No, this is
elemental-
No, this
Roma.
is that's under first. That's under first precinct. This is the one that's an actual city that's right under ours that Ingrid would go down to in between. And this is the one that we left to check library books and stuff.
Wait.
And-
When we were
And to try
when
to
we were
get my
down
magic
here,
broke.
yeah, when we were down here, we went to more than one city.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like they weren't distinct enough for me to differentiate.
Oh.
I'm so
We only
sorry.
went- We only went here for a little bit because we were trying
This
to get
blended it in together for
broken.
everything we did down here. So I'm sorry. It was one long session of us being down here. Well, I mean,
Just
one
the
long
one
where
story arc.
It was like, I have the city capped. So if you need to leave, you'd have to get me to uncap the city for the incursion, because we were right underneath the incursion at that point, and then we went back to underneath First District, and then the Corral attack.
Yeah, because I remembered us having to deal with the rot farm at the same space of us finding that one. What was it?
In
Lab.
any case, I guess I was mistaken. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, this is the one where you did meditation near the rot farm and saw stuff moving. This is,
Right.
but it's not the same one as Farkeep.
It's nowhere near the lab that we went to.
No.
No.
Okay.
Huh.
About
sorry.
a
I
3-hour
didn't mean for
ride
that
by
to be a-
Dromed away. After a few
So-
moments of y'all standing around quietly waiting because no one is talking in character right now. I gotcha.
Look,
Um,
can't do that.
a tall, elegant, very gracefully moving figure starts to descend the stairs, wearing a very, not necessarily plain, but simple black dress with a scarf draped over the top of her head and down across her shoulders. Black hair kind of just faintly frames the edges of her very elven, but a little lean on musculature face, revealing like high cheekbones, a very shapely jaw, and reddish orange eyes with a very faint ring of emerald around the edge of them. As Valora Omorona descends her stairwell. Oh, Ingrid, my hun. Wait, why am I doing Irish? Valora-
Because foreign accents are hard.
Shush. Ingrid, dear, how are you doing today? It's very late. Your tears said that you were not feeling well?
There's been a lot going on today. I hope you don't mind. I brought the workers by also so we can look at that in the morning.
You seem to have added to your retinue. Wait, did I say that right?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Retinue.
Please introduce me.
The Izzet people are just here to help with decommissioning an old area, but we have Gar and Frizz here. There's could potentially be some dangerous Izzet stuff underneath part of the rot farm. So
She takes each of your hands and shakes them, clasping her hand across the back of yours. Her hands are not cold, but they're room temperature.
is Opal with us, or did she sneak off?
She smiles lightly. So, it is a pleasure to meet you. I trust you will take good care of my dear Ingrid.
Of course, we have no intentions of doing anything harming her in any way.
Thank you so much. She looks to the Lugar and says, you are both welcome in my home to rest the evening. Please make yourself comfortable. I would ask you to avoid the library if at all possible. We are doing some reorganization after Tears was kind enough to acquire some new books for me.
Really?
Yes, he's
Understood.
been going. He went to Roma for a few weeks to spend time at the Merchant's Ward and acquire new books for the library, since you seemed to not find what you were looking for last time. Hopefully, with our new stock, it'll help you more with your research.
Tag.
She smiles slightly and hugs back. And she is like a good 1.5 feet taller than Ingrid.
How tall is Ingrid?
2.
You said 5'2"?
Yeah.
Alright. So she's like just a little bit taller than me.
6'2".
6'2".
Which is
6'8", right? 1.5 feet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's got like on a.
That's very tall for an elf.
Very tall.
Isn't it?
I think so.
I found out Rail's my third cousin, and I'll tell you more. Like, I do have to talk to you, but this is Rail's bodyguard, Mavana.
She looks to the woman and it's like, she nods slowly. And so, you are welcome in my house. Please trust your charge to my protection for the evening. And Mavana like, certainly, ma'am.
Yes, please sleep in a bed and not a chair tonight.
How does Tux know that? Or how does Fairdeer know that? Not Tux.
I thought that was known.
Rail, have you told anyone that Mavana's been sleeping in a chair?
I don't.
I know. I stopped by.
Yeah, it came up with Ingrid, but only Ingrid and Rail should know that in character.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
How
are forgiven.
dare you? No, it's alright.
We will ostracize you for the rest of the game.
No.
So like normal then. No.
That's all good.
If you have time, there's a lot to tell you, Valora. Is Opal with us, or is she gone?
You don't see her.
Okay. Oh, I was hoping you'd get to meet Opal I wrote you about. Maybe we'll find her in the morning.
Perhaps. But I have all the time in the world that you need. I have all the time in the world for you, hon. Whatever you need.
And Ingrid goes off to spend time with Valora as they get settled in.
All right. So long rest for the evening. We will go round robin style. Ingrid, you want to spend a little bit of time with Valora? It's just after midnight by this point.
Yeah, try to catch her up on most of the recent stuff and let her know we're going to the Red Waste next, probably.
That is a very dangerous area, my dear. Please be careful. I know it is late and you are tired. Do you have time for a session or two?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially since I might not get back too soon again with traveling. That would be good.
Alright, you've been able to go longer and longer, so it should be okay. And she kind of leans forward and cups her hand against your cheeks and kisses you soundly on the forehead, and you feel that cold wave of energy draw up through your body and into where she is making contact with you, and a calm, cool stillness filter in where that heat drains out. And since you're taking a long rest immediately after this, we're not going to bother with rolling. Okay?
All right.
Hold on real quick. Zizba, can you count to 5 for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. Next on the line, Fair Deer. It's midnight. Ingrid has gone off to spend time with her other mother.
Right.
Or her main mother.
I think he's probably going to just try to like converse with it's Fritz.
Okay. Fritz, where would you have headed off to
Luger.
after Luger would have gone to the receiving room for a nightcap.
Okay, fair. He's probably also not in any state to converse.
Fritz would have either been invited to the receiving room for a nightcap or directed to a room to sleep in.
Oh, okay. In that case, probably just go to bed.
Okay. I mean, I don't know where Fritz is. Halo, could you count to 5 for me, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I'm getting sound. Sorry, just checking for sounds.
Yeah, sorry, my mic was just up enough where it muted without me noting.
No worries. So yeah.
I'll just head off without getting the nightcap.
Okay, so Fritz is heading to his room. So Faraday, if you want to talk with him, you can try and intercept him, or just call it a night.
Sorry,
Also,
I guess I didn't realize what time it was, and just go.
Yeah, y'all met Choso at 11 o'clock. Y'all spent like 40 minutes drinking and then 15 minutes heading to Valura's.
Yeah, it's time for bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Fritz is heading to bed then?
Yeah, also Frizz.
I don't know why I keep on doing Fritz. Oh, because
Could
German.
it be that your microphone's on the Fritz?
Frizz. Okay. Next in the line, Rail. Going to bed, getting a nightcap, what you doing?
Man, what is Rail doing? Rail is actually going to stay up, researching.
Okay, there's a library at the house, but Vlora asked people to stay out of it because it's being reorganized.
No, sorry, his own notes.
Okay. What are you researching?
Just going over everything we've seen, trying to think over anything he might have read anywhere that might come up with a lead on those Kraken priests. Just trying to look over everything. He's effectively, obsessively researching to avoid going to sleep, because when he goes to sleep, he's going to have to wake up, and when he wakes up, he's going to have to deal with all of this.
Okay. You have been drinking, so make me a investigation roll with disadvantage.
Alright. And he does not have the presence of mind to cast guidance on himself, even if this were a situation where he could. Where's my d20s? My d20s are all hiding. Hold up. No? Huh? Where'd my d20s go?
Did the cat eat them?
Nope, there it is. I only have 2 d20s and a lot other dice, so... I don't think he broke 10 with that roll. His roll is... Yeah, it's a 9.
9. You feel like there is something in the notes you have taken. You read through them again and again and again. On about the 5th read through, you realize that you're not even actually reading it. You're just scanning the document again.
Yeah. All right, but Rail is effectively pulling an all-nighter out of stress.
Okay, if you do not sleep, if you do not take a long rest, you are going to have a point of exhaustion.
What does exhaustion do again?
Disadvantage on all your rolls.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Okay, fine. He'll sleep eventually.
Okay.
All ability checks anyway for the first level.
Yeah. Griggum, Lugar has gone to the receiving room for a nightcap. Frizz has gone to sleep. Ingrid is having a session with Valura. Rail is obsessively reading over notes to no avail, and Faradir wandered around, went to talk to someone, and then decided to go to bed instead.
All right. Well, I think I'll join Lugar in the receiving room for
All
that
right.
nightcap as well.
Lugar is having just a very full glass of port that Tears retrieved for him. Tears is in the receiving room. This large ballroom-like area has lots of chairs and stuff stacked up around the outer edges of it to be pulled down and used for whatever event may be happening at the time. A single table has been laid down with a number of chairs around it. Cheers is at the bar along the back wall, just kind of taking accounting of the alcohol and refilling some of the bottles. They seem to be fairly well stocked, so anything that you want, you could probably get.
I think I'll just go with actually, a Merlot would probably be nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Tears kind of goes across the hallway to the lauder, and comes back with a not 5,000-year-old bottle, but a decently aged Merlot bottle. Opens the cork, swishes it around, lets it breathe, and then pulls a full cup for you and hands it off before recorking and placing the bottle on its side on the bar top.
Thank you.
No problem, friend. Lugar is just like sipping the port. It's like, damn, this is a nice place.
Yeah, it's like,
Cuz you know some people high up.
wow. I know people who know people, really. It's like,
You okay?
yeah, it's just, boy, things have been moving kind of fast, like in this past year alone.
Yeah, the wheel speeds, the wheel slows. You just gotta ride it.
That's for sure.
So, you're staying in with the others then? You're staying with you and your friends are all working out someplace, you said, right?
Yeah, I founded guess you could say an agency.
Well,
Pretty much are doing. I figured, being with the conclave was nice and all, but it's like it's easy. It's easy to be an angel in heaven, if you really
not
want
nearly
to,
as much fun.
Yeah, it's like, well, true enough, but it's like if you really want to test a philosophy, it's like you have to put it out in the open where it can, see opposition. So I thought, you know what? Why not run an agency? He's like a troubleshooting agency of sorts. He's like,
He kind of like holds up and says, well then, to troubleshooting.
yeah,
Like,
troubleshooting.
and he like drowns and it's like, alright, I'm going to sleep in a fucking bed for the first time in a week.
Go for it, my friend. It's like, you certainly have deserved it. It's like,
Yeah, shit, that was... And he just kind of wanders off, leaving you in the receiving room.
see you in the morning, cuz. It's like,
Night.
We'll finish off his port and maybe do a little bit of like meandering around, being sure to keep out of areas he's not supposed to be in. Currently, mostly trying to find places that he can look out from.
When he sees you heading for an area other than the guest rooms, Cheers clears. Are you looking for anything?
No, I just need a quick stroll before bedding down for the night.
All right. Well, and he points to
Moment of contemplation.
He points to the front door. Be careful if you go out into the woods. They're not necessarily friendly things out there.
I remember the warning from the first time. He's like,
alrighty.
I figured I'd just stay in corridors with windows pointed outwards. Nothing too serious. I was like,
okay, that works. I can, he'll head towards the stairway. I'll get you set up in one of the front-facing rooms then.
That'd be wonderful.
Certainly. Just give me about 15 minutes. And he goes and maybe 10 minutes later, he pokes his head over the banisters. All right, I set the bed up for you.
Thank you. I guess I head up over to it.
All right. There's not a lot of light in this area. Especially,
vision,
yeah. But you do have the dark vision, which allows you to see distances, and there is a faint glow from the mist that fills the woods just outside of the mansion. Make a perception check for me.
I most certainly will.
And you're drunk, so do it at disadvantage.
But I'm a drunken master. Well. I was like, disadvantage. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. I was like, we are looking at decent perception, right?
Yeah. Just to see what you notice.
Okay, 17.
17? In the soft glow of the mist with your dark vision, you see one of the trees at the front of at the edge of the forest between the Rot Farm proper and the mansion, kind of twist and twitch and turn before it lifts itself out of the ground and starts to walk back into the deeper part of the forest.
Man, the nature down here is crazy.
And so with that, I believe everyone takes a long rest. So go ahead and give yourself a long rest.
Yes. Spells back.
You are awoken at an hour that can be easily described as stupid early, because out of the people that reside in this house, half of them do not need to sleep at all. And so you are awoken by the sound of pots and pans being put on hot plates and the smell of food being prepared for you.
Right.
Awesome.
No one goes to the door to bang on it to wake you up or anything like that. So you're free to wake up at your own time. Tears is downstairs preparing a very simple breakfast of toasted bread, sliced cheese, fried eggs, and sausage.
Ingrid puts her Golgari dress that has been through too much of not being in the Undercity away, and waters it and feeds it and picks up a fresh one and heads out of her room.
What's the design on this dress look like?
This one is gray and it has turquoise bird's nest mushrooms on it.
Okay. Just along the shoulders and down the demi sleeves?
the hemline and the edge and the bottom of the sleeves only.
Okay. Tears kind of like smiles at you. Here, and he'll pass you the plate of food. I have a table set up in the receiving room for you. If you want to have a meal there, or you can just... And he'll go back into the kitchen and take a few bites of his own kind of breakfast that he put together.
Excuse me.
We had someone stop by for a job that we hired that shifts. We have a new employee that can shift.
Oh,
It's really fun.
it's a rare gift. To meet another person who can do it. It must be quite fortunate for you.
So he's brought a certain levity to the office.
A good sense of humor definitely makes the work easier. So what is his name?
But I'm not really sure if he goes by Amma when in a female form. Cathal called him Amma once.
Amma?
And like in old Elvish, like with titles.
Amman? Amma?
Could have been.
Weird. Must be short for something then. Let's see. So, what are you to do today then, sister?
I think before we go and trudge off to the Red Waste and take an Azorius to meet a dragon in a few days, I think something more simple, visiting the rat farm and seeing if there's any Izzet machinery we need to help get out of there so it doesn't explode.
Huh. Do you want me to have one of the acolytes travel with you?
I mean, they could.
I mean, I have stuff that I can send them to do, but if you wanted some accompaniment, is not to force anything upon you.
I've been trained about the rot grubs and things like that. I think we'll probably be okay. I'll bring a torch with me.
It's a good plan then. Okay.
And some stilts just in case.
No. You do like those. Just make sure you not hit your head. The ceiling can be rather low in places.
Mm-hmm.
So when did the rest of y'all wake up?
Well, I'm
Rail
gonna...
wakes up with his head on a book.
On or in?
On, like he fell asleep reading.
I know what that's like. Pardon.
I thought you meant to say that he fell asleep with the book on
Yeah.
his head. Like he slowly leaned back after a while, and it just is on over his face. I was like,
It works too.
Block out the light, what there is of it anyway.
Works for me.
but yeah, for me, Griggum feels like a easy to sleep, easy to rise kind of guy.
Well, when you approach, Tears has a plate of food ready. So, if you want something else, I can make it for you. We got the larder's been restocked recently.
This is good. This is very good. I think I'm
Thank
going to be fine.
I normally just cook for myself and Zahn, so yeah, he hands it over.
Food. Food does sound good. Let's go for food.
When when Rail comes downstairs, he'll be offered a plate as well.
Yep.
Faraday sleeping in.
Faraday comes down.
Alrighty.
Gets food.
Lugar follows behind Faradir. It's like, so you're one of those Squiddy boys from the Simic, right?
Er,
So, oh, those, and he kind of points to the extra limbs. Make you popular?
no, quite the opposite, actually.
Oh, I mean, I know a couple people that have been, family. I have family that sometimes signs up to do participate in experiments for, the Simic or the Izzet, depending on what's being tested. So, seen a couple posters a few weeks ago about Simic looking for new people to test some new hybridization stuff.
Ooh. Yeah, well.
Give any details as to what it is?
It just said what to sound. It was just a pay bill posted at one of the boards. Just said Simic Labs seeking test subjects for new experimental hybridization procedure. Paying 10 gold for of each for the first visit, and then I think it was like 5 gold for each follow-up, with a minimum of 4 follow-ups.
The character is that they pay the Simic or the Simic pays
The
them?
Simic pays them 10 gold for the first time they visit, and then they pay them another 20 gold over a period of 4 visitations to check up on the hybridization process.
Yeah. I may need to. I wasn't aware of a new hybridization. I may need to look into that. That's interesting.
Well, there's always I work for the Izzet, so I didn't go for it, but I pointed it out to a couple cousins of mine. The Izzet hire people stuff for that, though it's mostly testing other things, hey, hold on to this, and I'm going to stick this in your mouth and let me know if it burns.
Yeah. That's the way it usually works. It's usually some form of essentially that.
Yeah, I haven't done lab work in a while. I mostly just, protect the places. They kind of, after the incident with the Mizium Ferry. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to get some food. And he, kind of half pushes past Faradir and, jumps 2 stairs down the stairs.
I'm going to go get food.
Alright. Tears chuckles as people are starting to stream in and hands out plates of food. There is just a big ass cast iron pan that he has 8 eggs cracked into. As he's flipping and stirring them, and there's also sides of sausage sliced at the same pan at the corner, and pieces of bread just toasting near a open flame at the other end of the thing. So it's pretty much all one pot cooking, with a cheese board at the other side to slice off hunks of this really kind of grainy textured, very pungent tasting, kind of think blue cheese, but more of a solid white color without the mold lines.
Okay. I'm gonna put some aside to give to Kay.
Okay, he'll eat whatever you give him.
Give him good morning scritches.
Is Frizz an early morning riser or a late riser?
Hello,
Testing.
if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Yep, another mic being told. Sorry. He is about he rises around in the middle. He's about to wake up now. He's got to clean up the drool on the side of his face and all that. And he'll be down very soon.
All right. As he comes down, as he's like one of the last few down there, Tears is finished serving and stuff. He's left a plate at the stovetop to be warm, but he's gone to start getting ready for his day. So there is food for Frizz when he gets there.
All right, yeah, he'll go down and go eat it.
All right. I mean, it's decent. The cheese is a little weird. You think it may be like some sort of mushroom-based cheese or something like that, just from the fact that you're at a rot farm. Or maybe it's
Fair.
made from milking something other than a cow.
That's fair. I've had worse. And he'll eat it graciously.
Food is food.
All right.
Exactly.
It is nourishment.
So, as y'all are eating, Valura comes down the stairway and into their sea room. She seems a lot less, her face seems more fuller, though she still has the high cheekbones and the elegantly shaped jawline. She comes up behind Ingrid and places a hand on her shoulder and kisses her on the forehead. It's like, so are you going to be coming back tonight, or is this just a quick visit, my dear?
I don't know how long it takes to dismantle this thing. So I can, we'll be really close by at the rot farm, so I can send Watcher and let you know.
Okay.
Or just, stop by for a minute on the way out. We're going to leave the dramas here for now.
She nods and she, keeps her hand on Ingrid's shoulder and she looks up at the rest of you. Protect my girl, okay?
Always.
That's a given.
If you do not, I will send a black hound to consume your soul in the night.
I expect no less.
Comforting.
And she kisses Ingrid on the head again. It's like, I have a thing to begin planning for. Take care if I do not see you again, hon, okay?
Well, at least step in, but if you're busy, I'll probably leave a note and head out. I don't want to keep this Azorius contract waiting too long. It should be good business for the company.
Makes sense and sounds like a good plan. I love you, honey. And she gives you one more kiss before straightening up and heading for the doorway. And so y'all are left to finish your breakfast in the receiving room on your own time.
Alright. We didn't come up with a solution last night, did we?
A solution to what?
Yeah.
General.
No, but we have a distraction, which is almost just as good. We can help these Izzet guys to take care of some machinery, do some metal tests. Surely a distraction is at least warranted.
So I feel like this is the sort of thing that maybe it may be wise to take a few days to think out of a solution and not one night.
Less than 12 hours later.
Well, we do have a really long trip to the Red Waste. About 4 days in, plus stopping to talk, if we can, with the contact Grickham was chasing down.
Oh yeah, the Shino whose name is basically screaming noise.
Yep.
Or I can't remember.
Interesting name. Excuse me.
Vishino, formerly known as
Now, what kind of geographic coordinates do y'all have for this storage space? And Ingrid will start grabbing a few torches and stuff and handing them out.
Lugar
And pocketing a pair of stilts. Well,
pulls
grabbing
out,
under her arm.
Lugar would pull out a very rough sketch, he drew it himself based off of an old map. He points to one corner of what was you assume a couple 100 years ago, a vacant portion of the cavern that the rot farm occupies almost the entirety of. It's like, right in this, he basically circles his finger around the upper portion of the map. This area.
Oh, and the torches aren't just for light, so take them even if you can see. If the rot worms get in your skin, just, douse yourself with the fire. It'll help.
Okay.
Yeah, she isn't getting on
Alright.
that.
So, watch for ground moving in a way it shouldn't move. Keep an eye out. Walk slow. Don't step on any of the mushrooms that are currently fruiting. I'll lead the way, but, just general practices.
Understood.
All right. So Ingrid, looking at the map, make a history check for me.
Okay. $11.
11. It's a little hard to pinpoint the exact location. You know that the Omorona mansion is in relatively close to the northern end of the Corpse Grove. The area that Jagar indicated broadly is the southern end of the Corpse Grove now.
It's not actually in the rot farm. It's more of the grove itself.
Mm-hmm.
That, or did I lose sound again?
Yes.
So Ingrid will start getting them closer to the spot, and then she'll be like, anyone just a little better at reading maps? I can kind of point to where stuff are, but this map's a little technical for me.
So as y'all travel through the Corpse Grove, I need everyone other than Ingrid to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay.
Wow, that is a 7.
Not 20.
Nice.
Find an appropriate die. Oh, my d20s keep hiding.
18.
18, okay.
That is 12 plus wisdom saving throw, you said?
Yes.
16.
16.
20.
20. Y'all, for the most part, seem fine. During the travel, though, Lugar continually seems to disappear in the mist, and y'all find him walking towards y'all occasionally.
Could someone get a hand on him? I don't, it would be really bad to be assisting him and then him be lost.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna-
I got you.
Okay.
So we're at about 7 minutes till, and I don't want to launch into the first confrontation just yet because it'll take way longer than we got left on this.
We can make it a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I think we're going to
Cliffhanger it
leave.
is.
Y'all have finally reached the southern end of the rot farm, near where the was indicated on the map. A quick search of the portion of the Corpse Grove where it touches the southern end of the rot farm reveals a almost imperceptible door that is carved to resemble, like, old stonework, rock work, stuff like that, so it would blend in fairly well. What you would expect to be a closed and sealed door is instead ripped off of its hinges, laying on the ground with mist pouring into the opening.
Oh. Oh no.
Nifty.
That's not good.
Great.
If anyone wants to make an inspection of the door frame real quick, or the
I
door.
will. I most certainly would like to
I mean, I would. Too.
The door or the door frame?
Let's start with the door frame before we approach the door, which I think is no longer on its hinges.
Yeah. The door frame has several claw marks gashed into the metal that was supporting the door.
Like how big?
Maybe a ½ inch wide and a ½ inch deep.
How big are the claw marks in metal?
Yes, that is what they just said.
Yeah. There's 4 of them on each marking, as it looks like. They are 1.5 inches wide and a ½ inch deep.
Nifty.
Comment was, I don't think it's the size of the claws and the claw marks in metal that is the issue.
Oh, it doesn't hurt to know exactly what's going to kill us.
I guess.
It certainly doesn't hurt to know.
The door itself, if anyone takes a look at it, has gouge marks on the side of it that would be facing outward. Of similar structure to the claw marks on the door frame.
Like the marks
quick
were
question
on the wood of
on
the
the-
outside, like to go in, right?
Yeah, they were on the outside, not the inside. Something broke
Okay.
in, not out.
Okay. Huh.
The girl looks at
Do you leave food
That's-
in there?
That's not good.
Because that's
that's
how
not
you
good.
get dire bears.
Okay, like, well, guess what? And it's like, you have premier troubleshooters, and it's like, at your service.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to go back and let the nice lady at the mansion know that this may take us a few minutes. I'll catch up with y'all.
Is navigating
You
the
really
lost
can't be
form-
on your own through these woods.
He is heading off.
Someone grab him.
Yoink.
Who's gonna go grab? Okay, real grab.
Okay. You're significantly
not
larger
safe.
and stronger than him, so I'm going to say that there's not much difficulty to grabbing him.
So you cannot just run through these woods. It's not safe to.
Oh,
Yeah, like, I understand you don't want to be involved, but you need to
it's not
stay
safe,
put.
you say.
It's less safe alone.
Look, we're not making you go in. Just stay where you are.
That's so much better. Yes. Okay. Fuck. Right.
Whatever's in there could be more of them out there.
I mean,
Do
there's
you want to take that
also-
chance?
There's also the spiders that work there and stuff, and you're not wearing a guild sigil for Golgari. They won't know that they're not supposed to eat you.
Ah.
Well. Ah.
Ah.
Hmm.
Oh. Ah.
We don't really have any Goliath spiders here because the cavern's lower, but I mean the Goliath beetles, but there are still spiders and things.
You have 6 Goliath beetles that you have seen there pulling large pallets of corpses around.
I don't have a lot of them because the cavern's small, but
No, I glossed over it. As y'all are hiking to that to the mansion at midnight, you see several zombies just kind of shambling around. Half of their bodies covered in fungal growths. Beetles twice as large as horses, with it's not a palanquin, a sled attached to the back of them, hauling a dead ogre deeper into the rot farm. You see giant spiders weaving strands of webbing over mushrooms that are glowing with a soft purplish green light.
We really are going to need to have a talk about the Golgari at some point. Because
About we're usually not supposed to be here.
This is where your food comes from.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you probably don't want to just be running around a meatpacking plant or something.
No.
If you have no idea what's going on or what.
Well, that is fair.
I mean,
Even so.
they did kind of put out signage and have processes such that people that don't know what they're doing aren't supposed to be here.
And y'all are fine. I've got the sigil, and if the enchantment drops on any of the zombies, I can handle recasting it.
Yeah, just to reiterate, don't go further into the forest because whatever's in there came from out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are at the 4-hour mark. I am sweaty as balls because I had to close the window because the dude outside was weed whacking or mowing or something. So I think it's about time to call it. Also, I am a little tipsy because I mean, this thing was full when we started this.
Oh dear.
I don't mean started this today. I mean when we started this, I can't leave the house.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I'm just busting your chops a little bit.
Nah, it's okay. Cone? Do we have one?
Do we have a moment of zen?
That's a good question. Like, what do I pull out now?
That's what he said and then was slapped.
It doesn't make a difference what temperature a room is. It's always room temperature.
Damn it, that's brilliant and I love it.
Nice.
There we go.
All right.
Very nice.
Rail, say the line.
Please take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, get what exercise you can, and be like a polite werewolf. Like and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us on this live broadcast of the Bonus Roll Second Side Agency. This is our 37th episode, and the first episode to feature Halo Cat. Welcome, Halo Cat, to the team. May your reign be glorious. I don't know. If you're watching this on YouTube at a later time, thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and comment like Meryl said. If you're listening to this on podcast, I apparently finally got my ass up and got working on getting our podcasts updated. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/thebonusroll, where for a $5 monthly donation, you can get access to the archives of our Chat and Chill episodes, as well as individual one-shots. For the $10 a month Patreon subscribers, one of us will read your name at the end of one of our weekly streams, saying thank you. It may not always be me, but it'll probably at least be me. We will have Ko-Fi information for people who want to do one-time donations soon. And what am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, you can follow us on social media on Twitter at Bonus Roll. It is our only social media thing. If you see a social media at Bonus Roll on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, please let me know so I can contact the proper authorities and try and have them shut down or acquire them.
So the $5 Patreon's video of Ingrid has her get locked in a room in a sane asylum. So you should definitely subscribe to that.
I really need to figure out how to actually get that done. Yeah, we have 6 players now. What am I doing? We have 6 players now.
You have 6 players now, and nothing's on fire yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Like
you
I
haven't
said,
seen my notes.
yes.
So, yeah, hey, we're up to 9 viewers. Hey, real quick, if every person who's a viewer right now could say something in chat, it may actually get a 10th person in, and we need 10 people to say something in chat to unlock more emotes and stuff that we haven't set up.
I don't think we'll get it this time, but
Thank you,
You never
Meryl.
know.
See, Meryl can follow instructions.
I posted 2.
You did. Okay,
As
Meryl and
did each
Isabel. Yes. All right. So next stream will be on Friday, Chat and Chill. I am working on overlays for a Shadowrun game that will start to air Fridays. I am working on a overlay for a Shard game that I need to work on the campaign some more for, and we will hopefully start doing gaming if I can figure out how to do that without looking like stop motion photography on the streams. I can't think of anything else to delay this any longer, so I think we're good. You want to call it? Y'all want to call it? Y'all good?
Take care, folks.
Good.
Alrighty.
I got some stuff to
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
So, alright, there we are. The intro thing is up.
Alright, I got stuff to do because I accidentally joined another D&D game later today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What D&D game?
It is going to be in Ravenloft, I think. Is that the
Oh,
one with
always fun.
all the spooky junk?
Yeah, Ravenloft is go through more. By the way, I didn't mute us.
No. Oh, yeah, I gotta go because I got some stuff to do.
Run, my
And I
friends,
think I got
run!
too long.
Yeah.
Later.
Later. Alright, goodbye. I'm going to end the stream now.